huge weekend for our guy Jay. First of all, can I say what it is personally for you? Or you don't want to?
That's all good.
Yeah. And that what is the actual day? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow's his birthday. Yeah.
Appreciate that, my man.
Tomorrow's Jay's birthday. He'll be celebrating in Sin City. And it's such a big weekend for Jay. He was telling me earlier, not only is it his birthday weekend, but you consider this kind of the start of summer, huh, this weekend?
Yeah, for me, it's the start of summer. It's the day that the calendar turns in the sports world. I know playoffs still going on, but really it's baseball. It's a big fight every single time, Cinco de Mayo weekend, in Vegas most of the time. The Derby, of course. I'm all tied in right now, man. I'm ready to go this weekend.
Yeah, you'll be going to Vegas. I'm wondering if there's a chance you might be placing a wager or two on the Kentucky Derby after we talked to your expert yesterday.
Well, absolutely. When you're in Vegas, you do what Vegas does, right?
Christina
and if
Black,
you don't, then you're out of your mind. But, the Derby is one of those special events that you, I think you got to partake in one way or another. Mm-hmm. And you can break it down however you want to. Apples, oranges, dollars or cents, however it makes sense, for yourself. I think you have to do it.
It is. If we're at home, it's one of the things that no matter what's going on, we try to remember the Kentucky Derby's on. Because
fastest 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. And then you turn it on right before and pick your favorite, whatever. So good luck on that, Jay. Now, if you have a chance to place a wager this weekend on who the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers will be, which way are you going?
I'm going Ty Lue.
Okay.
I'm going to. I don't know if that's an underdog, if that's a favorite. I think that's somewhere in the middle. A 10-1 type situation. Yeah, I'm going Ty Lue. I think Ty Lue is ready and prime. Kawhi not playing again, game 6 for the Clippers. Sounds like Paul George might be exiting stage left. Yeah, I'm going Ty Lue. I think he's going to look. You don't got to go nowhere. Mm-hmm. You're just changing colors.
Right.
At the same time, we know the Clippers are getting ready to move here into their new stadium, but you don't have to. You could continue to utilize that same parking spot. And actually, you'll probably get a better parking spot now that you head coach of the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll move on up. The Clippers right now, they're in the basement.
Well, what I'm hearing, what I hear people saying is that Mike Brown is. I'm just kidding. There wasn't much mention of what Greenberg said yesterday, what Greeny said yesterday about Mike Brown. But yeah, today became official. Darvin Ham fired this afternoon, as had been expected. Do you know, Jay, he is the first coach to get fired right after winning the in-season tournament. That has never actually happened. That's never happened before. Ty Lue, to your point, Ty Lue, 2019, he was very close to taking the job. The Lakers offered him a 3-year deal, so he would have been synced up with LeBron at the time. And I guess he thought maybe he should get more than that. But on top of that, the Lakers said, yeah, we want to hire you, but we want Kurt Rambis on your staff.
Yes.
And that's bad etiquette. Also, Kurt Rambis and his wife is really good friends with Jeannie Buss. So you could see that Ty Lue would have been thinking, wow, he's going to be like a spy to ownership wherever he goes. So anyway, Ty Lue turned him down then. But I agree with you. I think it's most likely that he's going to be the next coach of the Lakers. Although it could still be, you buying any of this JJ Redick talk?
No, I would say it's just because he's tied in with LBJ, LeBron. And I think LeBron, was operating for him to get some interviews. I think this is the setup. This is the banana in the tailpipe for JJ Redick. He probably won't get a head coaching, spot this go around, but when you start to talk about next year or 2 cycles from now, when you start to get interviews, and we see it with Jordy Fernandez, we've seen it with other, different coaches. Borrego came to mind from Charlotte. When you start to see their name passed around and they start to take a few, interviews around the league, most of the time, it's only a matter of time till somebody gives them a shot. Now, we've seen guys like Sam Cassell. We've seen guys,
he'll get his time,
like Eric Bieniemy in the NFL. Yeah. There's been some people who have taken multiple head coaching interviews and haven't gotten them. But normally, high percentage, you start to get your name floated around. We've seen it where players, Jason Kidd, Green down in New Orleans, there's a bunch of guys that have played that are starting to kind of recycle. Kevin Ali comes to mind as well. Ime Udoka. There's some guys around, Jamal Mosley, some guys who've played in the league and now starting to spin around and be head coaches. Chauncey Billups in Portland also comes to mind as well. So, there's a bunch of, I think there will be a handful of positions. I don't think there's going to be that many this year.
Yeah.
And for the Lakers to be probably the number one spot is going to be interesting. I'm
just looking here at the YouTube. We got to find a way to like zoom in on this camera because obviously Drapes isn't there, but you're in the back, but you're so far back there with the glass, we can barely see you. I wonder if there's anything we can do.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
I wonder.
We can do that.
So people can see your handsome face there as we continue. I think.
Look at that.
We're
getting some action. We're getting some action.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. YouTube chat, of course, if you want to participate on this wonderful, wonderful Friday. I think this is the first time in history where if you're a coach and you got, brain in your head, that you'd have to think twice about coaching the team that LeBron James is on. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Up to this point, it's been a no-brainer, right? Wait, LeBron's team? Yes, I will do it. Now, when you consider where this team is, how much he's getting, how much longer he's going to be playing, what else that team has to work with, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I think this is the first time ever where LeBron, well, let me think about that. Would you agree? Yeah, I think so. And it's just basically because of Father Time. Yes, I think he's not 1 foot out the league, but and it's not just him, it's AD and the roster.
Absolutely. And the same thing, the other part of it too is their roster is hamstrung with a lot of money. Like if you pay attention to their cap, they have a lot of money that's, getting ready to be doled out to, the Rui Hachimuras and 15, $17 million, $20 million. Like those things start to add up after you add so many different pieces that make $15 million. So I'm with you. I think this is the first time you kind of have to question. Mm-hmm. LeBron might be here for 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm. It depends too where Ty Lue is. Does he want to stay in town? Is it important for him to make a run at another championship? I mean, I'm not saying I would never do it, but I would be thinking about it. What is the significant here for Kings fans, Jay, in your mind, now that, how do I say it? Tyrese Halliburton has won a playoff series.
Uh-oh.
He's moving on. The Kings haven't quite done that.
Are you tippy-toeing? Was that you tippy-toeing around the
Well, you're not
the
supposed
topic?
to talk. You got to be real careful around here, right? And I'm not saying because, the Kings will be unhappy. It's just a sensitive subject with Kings fans, obviously. The whole, the trade. Yeah, everyone thinks that Kings lost the trade, but we won the trade. And then, you can't help but wonder sometimes, in my opinion, we won the trade, but did they win it more? I'm just being honest with you, Jay.
No, please do.
Just wondering where you are with that.
Don't pump fake it.
We won it, but maybe they won it a little more. I don't know. They're moving on, and they look good.
They do. They look good. They look fresh. They look young. Tyrese, we've talked about it on this show. Team USA, Tyrese Halliburton.
Right.
And it's not a play-in option to be Team USA. Like, no, he's on the roster.
Uh-huh.
He will be on the final roster. Yeah, when you look in the mirror and you see yourself and then you don't see your buddy next to you, which is the Tyrese Halliburton situation, I think you have to, well, first of all, let me take a step back. Congratulations to Tyrese and the Pacers.
Yes, well said.
Let's first give them some love. They came out bald. They took care of business. A lot of people's going to say, no, Giannis, Dame hurt, hobbled. No problem. Bobby Portis got kicked out very early in one game, which they wind up losing. But the other part of that, too, is the Pacers did what they're supposed to do. If you see an opportunity and the door is open, then you go ahead and kick it open. You don't want nobody to, bounce back and have an opportunity. And who knows? Like we've seen Doc Rivers say a couple times, Giannis is very, 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 he used like 5 varies at one point in time. Very, 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 very close.
Yes.
Well, we don't want to see Giannis. So let's go ahead and take care of this series early and let's go home, rest our bones. Mm-hmm. You got to give him love for that. The Tyrese thing, though, you can definitely tell here in Sacramento, it's definitely ruffled some feathers.
Because no one wanted him to go. No one wanted him to go. It's just, well, that's the only way we can get someone like Sabonis coming in. Mandy Too Legit points out on the chat, hey, don't forget, they picked up Siakam this year to help him get there. That's true. I know, but around the country, they're not going to look at that. They're going to look at that trade. Wow, that team's really good. Halliburton. We've been going through this ever since the trade, right? Why did the Kings do that? Oh, the Kings, right? And this isn't going to make it any easier. The fact that they have advanced. By the way, the Bucks, most disappointing team in the NBA this year, by far. By far, no. I think I would put them up there. Kings maybe somewhere in the
Kings
list.
Kings are on that list.
Top.
Yeah.
Philadelphia
Bucks.
a little
Philly's
bit. Philly's
got to be up there. Absolutely.
Even maybe the Warriors, to me, they didn't make the play-in.
Yeah, I don't know about the Warriors. I think most people believe they're past their prime. And, they would say, okay, they'll probably be in the playoff, but not really fighting for contention or championship. And prior to going into the season, and, Kuminga, well, they've been trying to figure out what he is. Mm-hmm. I think most people believe he's a baller. For whatever reason, Steve Kerr and company don't see him as that. Same thing with Moody. I don't know, man, with the Warriors. I think they would be, if you made a top 10 list, they'd probably be on the 10. And that's a third of the league. If you made a top 5, they wouldn't be on my list. I think the Kings would be up there. I definitely think the Bucks. I think Philadelphia. I'd probably say Miami's on that list as well. That's 4 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Memphis, remembering that Ja Morant was coming back, then he got injured real quick. They had Marcus Smart. I'd say maybe Memphis would be on that list as well.
But you don't think the Warriors, huh?
No, I don't think anybody coming into this year thought the Warriors were winning the championship.
No, I agree with that, but I think they thought, we're going to get back to the playoffs. We got Chris Paul and the Kings, maybe just the Kings, big picture, my expectations are not what they should have been. That's a disappointing year, no question. But I don't think it was as disappointing as anywhere near as disappointing as what happened to the Bucks this year,
right?
Or even Philly. And I forgot about Miami. That's a great point.
Yeah,
back in the play-in.
I think it's for me, it's Miami or Philadelphia. I think it's one of those two. Yeah, and with Dame coming over to Milwaukee, that was kind of the big splash. Right, that was the cannonball. That was. I'd probably go Bucks.
Yeah, and then I think they knew it was going to go sideways on them when they're celebrating. We got Dame, and then they see, Drew Holiday's going to the Celtics. That's not good, guys.
Yeah,
we're in trouble. What have we done? You can add Philly to the list of clubs that Kings may be competing for a big name with this offseason. We are right back with that. It's Jay, Whitey, Sacktown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento sports fans, get ready to amp up your summer with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We've got an incredible lineup. First up on May 24th, don't miss Tribal Seeds as they bring their reggae beats to Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. And mark your calendars for June 8th when NF takes the stage at the Golden One Center. Visit livenation.com for tickets. And don't miss out on the California State Fair summer lineup. On July 15th, experience Queen Nation, a tribute to Queen. Catch Flow Rida on July 23rd, Bush on July 24th, and the ultimate throwback with a 90s rewind show on July 29th, featuring Tone Loc, CNC Music Factory, and Digital Underground. Visit CalExpoStateFair.com for tickets and info. Looking ahead to August 4th, get ready for the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, presented by Live Nation. It's a star-studded event. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, your ultimate playbook for the best shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Milwaukee Bucks, ouch! Are they the most disappointing team in the NBA this year? It's Jay and Whitey today. Drapes has the day off. Interesting thoughts here on the chat, which we always appreciate. Beams Beamley has it this way, Jay. Warriors, Suns, Bucks.
How about the Suns?
Yeah,
the
I
Suns
do too.
For sure.
He says we're like top 7 most disappointing, and he points out the Warriors, top luxury tax team. He thinks they're the most disappointing team.
Nah.
Then the Suns, then the Bucks.
Nah, man, if you polled anyone, and we can go back, you can pull it up right now. No one had the Warriors winning the championship. You don't jump from 6 to 1.
But they didn't even make the in.
Yeah, but that's the same thing with the Kings. I mean, I think the Warriors and the Kings are in the same spot. It wasn't like the Warriors did anything last year. They're 2 years removed from the finals. That could just be me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the money. No problem. There's a lot of people who spend a lot of money who don't get things accomplished. Look, some people have high means. I just don't think most people came into this season picking the Warriors to go to a Western Conference Finals.
I agree.
I didn't see a lot of that. I read a lot of preview. I saw a lot of, there were people who were talking about they're too old. They're past the heel. Draymond shouldn't be resigned. Clay, we don't know what he's getting. Chris Paul's 37 years old. They don't know what to do with Kevon Looney. Who knows what Moody and Kuminga are bringing to the table? Andrew Wiggins is in his head. They don't even know if this dude was going to play. Like, I didn't see a lot of people saying the Warriors are going to win a championship.
No, I don't think people thought they'd win the title, but I thought they were expecting to take more steps in the right direction because they talked about their chemistry. And, Jordan Poole was kind of a scapegoat for them. We got rid of him. We got Chris Paul. And I don't even think they had a winning record at home.
No,
so
they didn't.
They're definitely disappointing.
Yeah.
You can quibble about where they rank compared to other teams. They were definitely disappointing, as were the Sixers.
Yeah.
We're also out. I don't know how much you saw last night. Buddy Buckets. It was
made an appearance
sighting last night.
Yes, he was.
And then the end of the game was a 3-point game. The Knicks ended up winning 118-115. And the Sixers ended up with the ball, 3.7 to go, and they inbounded to Buddy Hield. And it looked like he thought there were 0.3 because he got rid of that thing like, I don't want any part
Sasha
of this.
Vezenkov style.
Turned and flung it. He had time to take maybe even a dribble and get a shot up, but he looked like the moment might have been a little too big for him.
Well,
free agent, you want him? You want Buddy Hield?
That'd be a negative. Yeah, I don't think he brings what the Kings are looking for. And I understand shooting, but that for me, that's what he does. I think he's going where we've petitioned him to go the last couple years. I think he definitely has his eye on Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I think he should definitely be picking up the phone, a 3 for 24. He'll get more than that, but I think something in that range of, 50, some form or fashion, kind of what we've seen with Harrison Barnes, a 3 for 54 type situation. He'll get 17, 15. So he's a shooter. Shooters are going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
I think he fits what Los Angeles does. They're a catch and shoot team. Definitely not for me, but I will say this: game 1 and 2, he wasn't getting no tick.
No,
0. He wasn't playing at all, White. So
right.
The fact that he came in and put a surge into the game last night, you got to at least give him some love on that.
Now, the things that he said in that video that ended up resulted in him getting booed.
Sure.
Yeah. And, there were terrible things that you shouldn't say. It was one of my most awkward moments of the whole season because I think this was before the trade. So he was with Indiana and I'm at the game, and at the table where I am, there's only 2 seats next to me, and they're both women that work for the Pacers. So we're sitting there. It's like we're all at the end. There's no one else around them that they could ask, and fans are booing Buddy Hield. And these women turn to me and think they're Pacers PR or whatever, digital maybe, and they ask me, "What did he say that people boo him like that?" I was like, I can't really tell you what it was that he said, but it was really bad. That's why he's getting booed.
Why didn't you want to tell him?
Because I don't even know if that's legal to tell them what it was that he said.
Oh, okay.
You know?
It
was very graphic.
Yeah. The crazy part is there's probably more unjust things said on regular television these days.
Huh.
We're living in a different world, White.
Yeah.
This ain't 1979 anymore. I'm
but
not
in some
saying
ways you have to be more careful.
100% you do.
Yeah,
definitely. You can't just be willy-nilly with the tongue right now. Absolutely.
Willy-nilly was a heck of a player.
You better put subjection on that tongue real quick.
Yeah. I've been wondering the same thing. I'll have to look that up. Thanks for asking. Here's the deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, disappointing year, but now they appear poised to make a run. Another team that, like the Kings, has been making noise about going out and getting somebody. Look at their situation here on their roster. Philadelphia enters this offseason with 12 open roster spots. They only have 3 players under contract, Joel Embiid, Paul Reed, and then a rookie, Ricky Council IV, on a non-guaranteed deal. So even Tyrese Maxey is not on a deal yet, but they expect to sign him to an extension, probably a max extension. So Philly is another one of the teams that when it comes to pursuing big name guys, the Kings figure to be competing with. And that's tough, right? You look at just a generic free agent who's a good player. Oh, the Kings are interested in me. Ooh, so is Philadelphia. It's going to be tough for the Kings, Jay. It's going to be very tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that's something you have to operate around. You know, we know they looked at Pascal Siakam. Pascal said, I wouldn't resign in Sacramento. So you get away from that. OG Anunoby was right there, but I don't think they had the pieces that, you know, the Knicks gave up RJ Barrett.
OG was a monster last year.
I know, man. Like those, every time I see him, I see PJ Washington. Those are the two for me. I'm like, man, they were there for the taking. You know, you have to be bold to go get those guys, and not so much PJ, but OG for sure. They were right there, though. And I understand the camaraderie and the continuity that we've heard, you know, from a bunch of our Kings media around here, and how much the Kings, you know, they like that, how much they value that. That's all fine and dandy. But you definitely got to infuse some different talent into the town. I thought PJ and OG was the perfect, as we're talking about the Alphabet Boys. I thought they were perfect for what this team needs. And the fact that you don't try and go get those guys, and I'm not saying they didn't, but we didn't hear enough effort from the Kings to go get those guys. I think it's really going to backfire. And guess what? Now we're back into the offseason where it's going to take a little more oomph to go get that star player.
To me, the more curious of those two is the OG thing, because there had been reports for a while going back beyond last offseason that they liked him. And you could see, to your point, it's easy to see what he is, what he brings, what the Kings need. It's like, wow, that's a match.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Put him at the altar.
How vigorously did they pursue him? Because I don't think he went. I'll have to double check. I don't think the Knicks gave up that much to get him. So I'm wondering if it was a matter of kind of like Siakam, where the Kings didn't want to gamble and trade for somebody who they didn't think was going to stick around after this year.
It was Quigley, Barrett, and another piece, I felt like.
I thought there was 2 number 2s in there. So that is, I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah, they had the young pieces. I think Toronto wanted the young pieces. Yeah. And RJ Barrett's from Canada as well. So, you know, that worked as well. Let's take a look at that trade. Let me pull that up real quick, because
you're right. It is a little more substantial than I'd remember.
Let's see here. It was OG Anunoby for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quigley, and a 2024 second round pick to the Raptors.
1 second rounder.
Gosh, the Knicks, they got Precious Achiuwa, who's also playing for them, and Malachi Flynn in the deal.
Yeah.
Precious Achiuwa, for 26, OG's 26 years old. Now,
the Kings probably feared he wouldn't stick around.
Who's RJ Barrett on the Kings? That's probably Keegan, right?
Yeah. But all the Kings wanted to give up was, hey, we got Hurt or we got Barnes, right? You know, I can't blame them, but that's why their offers weren't accepted ultimately. Yeah. Herter and Barnes, what do you think? Herter and Barnes, Davion, teams just didn't have that much interest in those guys.
Yeah, very true. I think Herter coming back this year, people will look for shooting. For me, I think you're going to have Herter actually come out and play for the Kings, show who he is, and then I believe he'll you know, his value will probably go up. So I believe we'll see maybe a spin during trade deadline, but we'll see. I think when you're battling teams like Philly, who have a couple of stars already, a superstar in Joel Embiid, you definitely, as we've seen, a lot of players want to click up and become quote unquote a super team. So I don't know. It's definitely tough. Makes it difficult.
Yeah. People on the chat are bringing up Obi Toppin last night. Woo!
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about him.
Yeah.
We will take a look at some of the Philadelphia free agents. They got a lot of free agents, guys that you know, guys that have been playing that could be available. Are the Kings, should the Kings be interested in any of them? That's next when we come right back. Drive Guys, Jay, Whitey, Sacktown Sports. Happy Friday.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SacktownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the Rivercats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want to know about the next exciting Rivercats homestand. Let's go, Rivercats!
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Welcome to the May Springtime Sales Event at Kia Vacaville, where we're celebrating the arrival of a new season with unbeatable lease options on our 2024 lineup. As May blossoms with possibilities, it's the perfect time to immerse yourself in the exhilarating world of Kia, highlighted by the luxurious and versatile Kia Telluride. Throughout the May Springtime Sales Event, Kia Vacaville is thrilled to showcase our top models with irresistible lease offers. Experience the thrill of driving the all-new Kia Sportage, seamlessly blending captivating design with dynamic performance. Dive into the impressive fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel designed to extend your adventures. Embrace the essence of spring with our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, specifically tailored for those who prioritize efficiency without compromising on style. With the EV9 in stock, Kia Vacaville stands as your premier destination for electric excitement. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, this song made a big comeback this year after I did a Harrison Barnes version of it. You got the Drive Guys here, Jay and Whitey. Jay, I hate to do this to you the day before your birthday. Happy birthday again.
Appreciate that.
But I have a challenge for you. You can accept or not.
Come on.
I would like to issue the first ever Friday Music Throwdown Challenge to you.
Ooh, I like it. Go ahead.
The way I'm proposing it is, it's as you say, it's Friday, excited about the weekend.
Sure.
You would get to go first. We can take turns, see how many we can do, and then we'll let, I don't know, listeners decide who has the better songs. Best weekend songs. That is what I propose is songs that have weekend or a day of the weekend either in the title or just prominently mentioned in the song. Now, I've been thinking about it for a while, so I have a few, and I just threw this at you. So, obviously, in all fairness, you would need some time. You don't even have to, you may say, no, I do not accept.
So give me the guidelines one more time. Best weekend song.
Best weekend song.
Okay.
So it's a song
yes, sir.
that has either the weekend or, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Either in the title or just somewhere prominently in
the song. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I can rock it.
All right. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Yes, sir.
I'll wait. Let you see if you think of one you like, and then at that point, you accept the challenge or not.
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good.
Also, I know you're doing a lot of other things there, and you don't have time to sit there and go, let's play Whitey's game of grab ass. Yeah, I mean, you got other stuff that you're doing.
That is true. That part is true.
Like, I don't have enough to do over here. Yeah. This is interesting to me. We talk a lot about the players from the 2020 draft. We were just talking about Obi Toppin, and I'll run down some of them here. My point is, this upcoming NBA draft, a lot of us are hearing that this draft ain't much to it. And, okay, I remember hearing some similar things about that 2020 draft. Now, at the time, in all fairness, what people were saying then was, wow, some good names at the top, then it drops off. Okay, so this is that 2020 draft. And again, at the time, some people were saying there's some good names at the top. After that, it drops off. 2020 NBA draft, you had Ant-Man first, Warriors took Wiseman, LaMelo Ball third, then it went Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, and Yeko Kongwu, Killian Hayes 7th. Obi Toppin was the 8th pick of that draft, went to the Knicks. Denny Avdia 9th. Jalen Smith, we talked about him yesterday, 10th. Devin Vassell 11th. Tyrese Halliburton 12th, as we know. Cole Anthony was 15th. Josh Green 18th. Precious Achiuwa was the 20th pick. The 21st pick was Tyrese Maxey. The 21st pick in a draft that some people said, Tyrese Maxey. The 28th pick was Jaden McDaniels. And the 30th pick, the last pick in the first round, was Desmond Bane.
Man.
So you never know. Just don't, if you hear experts talking about this draft,
sure.
Well, sometimes there are better players in the draft than anyone realizes.
Absolutely. And it all comes down to how the player operates and progresses. I see Emmanuel Quickly in there at 25. There's a few other names in there. Sadiq Bey is in there. So yeah, there's some Cole. Did you say Cole Anthony?
I did.
Okay.
But to your point, Xavier Tillman was 35th.
Yeah. Aaron Neesmith is in there. So yeah, there's some guys in there who are contributing to playoff rosters, right now, as we've seen it, as you said, even last night. So yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah. So you just never know. So I guess my point is, I think there's a good chance the Kings could get a good player where they're picking, but no one else seems to be looking at it that way. So
it's because you're a smarter individual than a lot of us here.
That's
White.
one possibility. There is
I
another.
like where you're going.
There is another 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Steven joins us on Sacktown Sports. Hey, Steven, happy Friday. Happy day before Jay's birthday. Jay, Steven
Should be there.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, Steven.
Yeah. Steven, he pulled that prank on us yesterday when he was at work, remember? And he wasn't even listening to us. Sorry about that, Steven. The Philadelphia 76ers, as I mentioned, 12 open roster spots. What do we care about the Philadelphia 76ers? Well, here's the deal. Some of these players that we've been watching all year and in this series against the Knicks, they're set to hit free agency. Keep in mind the Kings are pretty limited here. They got the mid-level. Otherwise, you're talking sign and trade, which is tough to do. But here are some players ready to hit free agency. Just stop me if you are potentially interested in any of these names from the Kings standpoint, okay? Tobias Harris, Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, DeAnthony Melton.
Stop. Bing! I need a buzzer.
Really?
Whammy. I'm interested.
In DeAnthony Melton?
I'm interested.
I like him too.
Yeah, I'm interested. I like what he brings to the table. I would be interested if we're talking, half of my MLE or, I'd be interested.
Okay.
I'd take a flyer.
How about, I only have
Speaking
one
of Philadelphia.
more here. Kelly Oubre. Had a good series, pretty good season.
He's the guy that always teeters up and down for a lot of people.
Yes.
He has a lot of talent. He does what he's supposed to do in many instances. And then there's, games like last night. Then there's games where it's like, man, is Kelly even on the floor? And the thing about it is because he has the talent and because we've seen it, he gets paid, he's a high paid bona fide NBA starter.
Yeah, although his pay has been going down.
It has.
I think he was like on a veteran's minimum or close to it with Philly. But you're right. I mean, he had signed some big deals, and he's a name that's going to come up. I remember last year, a lot of Kings fans, during the summer when we talked, Chris and I would ask about this player, that player, and people are going to mention, what about Kelly Oubre? And he did do some nice things for them. He also is a guy that got into, look, I don't know what's going on here, and I'm not suggesting anything, but he got into a bicycle accident this year. Remember that? And tried to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also got into a car wreck. Well, I think he was driving a couple weeks ago. So, those are type of things. Now he played, he overcame those injuries. Another reason why I would guess the Kings would steer clear of him is when he was with the Warriors in, what was that, 2021? It just didn't work there. He put up some nice numbers here and there, but he didn't seem like a good fit. And that's when Mike Brown was an assistant there.
Right.
So I'm guessing Mike Brown would probably say, no interest. But he is a guy that if it comes down to it and you're like, look, boy, we didn't get anybody. He's a guy that still might be available. I would have him on my list just on the second page on the bottom.
Okay. He's Cliff Note. He's a Cliff Note. All right.
Yeah. Others. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. If I can
keep
get
your
anybody,
eye on it.
But and he plays hard. I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
Which is
you don't.
Effort's not a tool, man.
Uh-huh.
And I've said this earlier this week. I think too many times we considered effort a tool as a skill, or I should say a skill. Like just because you play hard shouldn't be a skill. Everyone should play hard, and I know everyone doesn't. But that I'm not putting that on my list of skills. Like he plays hard. If I even got to question that, then I already have a problem. Like I'm not even thinking about bringing you to my team. The prior to this year, and maybe it was bet on himself year with the veteran 2.8, which NBA veteran contract.
Yeah.
He had came off of
he was in Charlotte, right?
Basically, yeah, and that was the MLEs. He was basically playing on the 12 million. I mean, that's basically giving him the full 12.
Yeah.
If put it this way, if he is willing to operate on the NBA vet, which would be 2.9 next year, I'm interested. I'm very interested because he could be a diamond in the rough. He could be someone where, Malik Monk, you buy low, something happens, maybe it works. It's confectious here being in Sacramento. Malik Monk, brings the spirit animal out of him. I don't know what it takes, but if I'm paying him 2.9, then I'm interested.
Right.
If I'm paying the 12 that he made the 2 years before that, the 14 million that he made before that, like with the Warriors in 2020, no, I'm not paying him that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where he is right now. His self-perceived value is just much higher than the way anybody else in the league sees him. So he hangs around looking for a deal, and then at the end of the summer, it's like, okay, I got to sign somewhere. And the Sixers like, all right, yeah, we'll screw you up. So I'm wondering if someone will do that.
You know what that sounds like to me?
Again.
Yeah, you know what that sounds like, and all praises to this cat man for it's Harrison Barnes. Like Harrison Barnes
is making a lot more money.
Tons of money. But I'm not counting his pockets. Kelly Oubre, Harrison Barnes kind of factor into the same thing. Like you don't know what you're getting every single night when it comes to the box score or the numbers. I do think Harrison Barnes is way more professional. He's community based. He's not getting, in car accidents, as you said.
Teammate of the year candidate, Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, very well.
He was a finalist.
Sounds great.
And he's an NBA champion as well.
He is, thanks to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And that'd be the first one. So that'd be like what, Festus Ezeli, David Lee, a couple other guys in there, right?
On the text
Spates
line?
on that first one?
Yeah, I think he was.
Okay.
I think he was. On the text line, that was a horrible loss by Philly. Why'd they go away from Buddy's hot hand? Yeah, why didn't they just give the ball to Buddy more? 916 says, love Halliburton, but the East is a joke. And the Bucks were missing Giannis and Lillard this time too. The Kings would have been a 2 seed in the East. I think the Stockton Kings might have taken the wounded Bucks to 7 games, and then someone else 9-1-6 says another disappointing team you guys missed, the Phoenix Suns. We
Definitely
did eventually
the
come
Suns.
around to them, but definitely they're a top 10 most disappointing this year.
Oh, they're top 3 when you really look at the names on the back of the jerseys. I would probably venture to say, for me, I'd go Philadelphia, just because Embiid coming off the MVP situation. Ty Max jumped up. Tobias is catching, $157 million or whatever he's making. Mm-hmm. They had some opportunity when they got Kyle Lowry. I think they're right there. The Bucks, unfortunately, got caught with the injury bug. So I'd put them at 3. I'd put the Suns at number 2. Mm-hmm. They were all there, and the Suns just can't stay healthy. And you know who I'm getting ready to place there?
The Clippers.
The Clippers.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, they're right. They're getting ready to be probably number 2 for me.
Yeah, and I know injuries have a lot to do with that too, but in some of these cases, you can blame teams for not anticipating. Like the Suns, when Bradley Beal said, boy, if we'd have just stayed healthy, we'd have won a lot more games. Yeah, you think? Who thought you were going to all stay healthy, though?
Straight up. Seriously.
It's like science fiction.
Yeah, right. For real.
I hate to do this again, day before Jay's birthday, but P-Bev, one of Jay's favorites, and he's in a bit of hot water now. That's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sackautographexpo.com. That's sackautographexpo.com.
Skeeter here, Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year, Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes, and at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are out for blood.
The Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Everyone knows that a group of fish is called a school, but did you know a group of giraffes is called a tower? Or how about a murder of crows, a quiver of cobras, a shadow of jaguars, a shiver of sharks, or a zeal of zebras? Wild, huh? So what do you call a group of Bell Brothers plumbers? They don't fit into any of the traditional plumber stereotypes. They're clean and well-dressed. They're on time and courteous. They're well-trained and friendly. They're exactly the kind of people you'd be comfortable and confident to invite into your home. That's why we proudly call them our family of plumbers. If you need a drain cleared or any other plumbing service, we'll send one of the family right over to help you out. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. Ends 5/15/24.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
She said, don't come home if you go to the bar. So I said, okay, baby, then got drunk out in the yard. 2 a.m. I knock up on the door. Well, she never unlocked it. Guess I don't live there no more. Yeah, she made
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Is this one of your weekend songs, Jay?
That'll be no.
Okay. I'm just waiting. You know, I know you're like a rattlesnake. You warn before you strike, but I'm just waiting for you to strike.
Yeah, I'm coming. Just don't be the mongoose. I just don't need you to be the mongoose right now.
I don't know what it is whatever you're eating, I don't know what it's called, but Imran just brought me one too. It's the greatest thing I've ever had.
That thing is fantastic,
I don't know what
isn't
it is. Yeah.
Some type of bread.
Some type of bread with like honey and or cheese in it.
Yeah, that thing is buttery and it's glistening. It look like you jumped fresh out of the pool.
Yeah.
That thing is good, man.
Thank you, Imran, for bringing that by. He's getting ready to do his show. As a rule, I don't like to eat some if I don't know what it is, but just looking at it, it's like, that's great. I don't care.
Got at least, it's bread. So you're like, okay, and it's nice and shiny. Looks like you put Armor All on it. I'm going to take it.
Warm.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I like it.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Before we get to Patrick Beverly, it'd be nice if Drapes was here today, but Jay is a PBev guy as well. So before we get to that, let's talk to Mike on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hey, boys. How are you?
Good. What's up? Happy Friday.
Hey, I as I was speaking to Jay when I just called in, I keep hearing all over the radio, all over the TV, Giannis and Dame hurt cost them a chance of, they get beat by Indianapolis. They made two huge mistakes this year. Number one, they fired their coach. I have no idea why. I don't. The only reason I can think is either he pissed off Giannis or the owner. I don't get it. And then number two, I believe he's a top 10 player in the NBA is Drew Holiday. He's the lockdown defender. He can give you 30 a night. He guards the best player on the other team. And the year before, I believe their defensive efficiency was third in the league. And once they trade him, they're now down in the low 20s the last time I checked a few weeks ago. And then he goes to Boston, and then they go up, way up in their defensive efficiency. This guy reminds me of when Clay, before he got hurt. Nobody ever talks about Clay was a lockdown defender. He'd always guard the best player. And, after the injuries, he don't have it anymore. But everybody wants to talk about offense and shooting when you got a guy like that who's just, he connects the offense and the defense together, that guy. And nobody talks about him.
Well said, Mike. Great call, in my opinion, because I agree with you 100%. Yeah, with losing Drew Holiday and bringing in Dame, I'm not even sure that made them better, all things considered. And you're right, Budenholzer was kind of a knee-jerk last year because, Giannis was hurt last year in the first round too, and they lost to the Heat. It was like, oh, this can't happen. You're hired. And they had Adrian Griffin, and they had a bad series last year, and then they compounded things. They made things in some ways worse.
Yeah, they did. They tried to make moves, and this a lot of people around here in Sacramento have been asking for, making moves, doing something different. And the Milwaukee Bucks, as Mike has talked about, and you've alluded to here, sometimes you can do too much and it can really throw a wrench into the system. And I think the Bucks, because Giannis is on the clock, so you try to do as much as you can as possible, to make Giannis happy, to try to go win a championship, to put star guys around him. Giannis being up in Milwaukee hasn't necessarily played with the star, so to say. And so on paper, superstar. And I'm pretty sure as he looks around the league, he sees the Dallas Mavericks, he sees the Lakers, he sees the Pelicans, like all these guys who are playing with multiple all-stars. And I'm pretty sure he's told the Milwaukee brass, like, look, I want a guy like Dame. Mm-hmm. But as Mike said, sometimes, less is more, and you don't need to do addition by subtraction. I'm not sure Drew Holiday, I think he said is a top 10 player. Is that what Mike said, or did he say 20? Either he's not a top 10 or 20 guy in the league. But I understand what Mike is saying. He's not that good, though.
He's an excellent player. He's vastly underrated.
Very, very much so. Mm-hmm. Very much so.
That's a great point you raised, because I think we see that with a lot of teams when they have a superstar, especially a superstar in a market where he may not want to stay. How many times have the Bucks, they just went through it, right? Is Giannis going to stay? So I agree with you. As a franchise, sometimes you have to say, all right, what do you need to be happy so you'll stay? And then they did some of those things and like, wow, it didn't really help us as a team. That's what impresses me about the way Dallas handled all this. And I don't like Dallas, but, they were kind of doing some of the same things with Luka. We got to bring in somebody. We got to win so he'll stay. And they got a lot better this year, and I give them credit for that.
It's the fringes, man. They weren't afraid to try something. You have to give Dallas credit. The PJ, the Gafford, those plays, as we've seen, like, guys are starting. Mm-hmm. Gafford is starting at this point. And that pushes Kleber to the back of the bench, which now makes your bench better. And at the same time, Tim Hardaway, who was kind of starting, kind of not starting, in and out, that pushes him a little further down.
He's not overexposed.
Right. Now he's like your sixth man. He's your go-to, which now he's playing against other guys' bench. Now he looks better. Mm-hmm. Right. And as you said, not overexposed. I thought they just made some great choices. I thought they pinpointed what they need. I think as much as people talk about Luka, the one thing I've always said about Luka to me is you can out athleticize him, and they went and got people to protect him. Soon as you go around Luka, Gafford's right there. PJ's going to put you on your butt. Like, I thought they did exactly what the Kings needed to do, and they didn't give up nothing.
Yeah, you touched on
second round picks, man. Bye. Get rid of that.
The most surprising thing about Dallas, you just touched on it there. When they brought in Kyrie, I thought Kyrie's played off the ball before. Kyrie and Luka, offensively, they'll be fine. But defensively, they're going to be a disaster area. And they weren't very good to begin with. But by the end of the year, I remember Sam Amick writing about it. And I think we talked to him. It was like, I don't know how it happened, but they're a good defensive team.
Right. Yeah. Well, that one thing they are when you add PJ and Gafford is you become long and athletic.
Uh-huh.
And two things about both of those, PJ to me, he's a little more of a knucklehead. He doesn't mind mixing it up a little bit. He doesn't mind bringing a higher temperament to the game, that's going to make you and force the other team to have to step up to his level. And so, I truly thought when you really look at it, Whitey, and this is something that I thought about when the Mavericks made their Western Conference run against the Warriors, it was Reggie Bullock and who am I forgetting? The other guy.
Brunson.
No, yeah, not Brunson, but Bullock and hold on, let's go back to it. But it was Bullock and this other player, and they both kind of fit the mold of what we seen. The Gafford and PJ Washington. Mm-hmm. They're long, not athletic.
Powell.
Who is it?
Powell? He's still there, but he's not. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I just can't place the player. And that was that Dallas team. They got very fortunate in a way because they beat a Utah team. Utah was way better, and even though Luka was hurt, they beat Utah. Then the Suns imploded, and they beat them. They found themselves, hey, we're in the Western Conference Finals, and the Warriors blew them out. But I give them credit. I think they recognize we're probably not quite this good.
Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith is the player I was thinking about. Yeah, so they kind of fit that same mold. And guess what? That took them to the Western Conference Finals. They brought those same type of mentality type players come in, long, athletic, go get it, a little of a knucklehead, don't mind to mix it up. And now look where they're at. Probably getting ready to put the Clippers out due to Kawhi being injured yet again.
Let's give Steven one more try, right? Strike one yesterday, strike two today. Steven in here with 2 strikes. How are you, Steven?
Man, I am here and unmuted. I am well. How you guys doing, man?
Good.
I work all day, man. So I try not, whenever I'm on hold, I try not to be disruptive because a lot of like power tools and stuff like that here. So, you know, I'm trying to be considerate. But anyway, happy early birthday, Jay. What's your favorite cookie?
My favorite cookie, sugar cookie. Yeah.
A sugar cookie?
Sugar cookie. Give it to me straight. I don't play around with the chocolate chips and all these additives and preservatives. No, I'm playing. I'm all sugar cookie, brother. I appreciate the sugar cookie.
Okay. You have a backup? Or is that like it?
No. I like peanut butter. I like oatmeal raisin. I like a snickerdoodle. You know, I'm not picky,
Steven's
brother.
got some of those animal crackers that he wants to give you. And so he's like hoping that eventually you'll name them and he can say, I got you these animal cracker cookies, Jay.
I like animal crackers, actually.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I do extracurricular activities. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I get them munchies if you catch my drift. And those Reese's animal crackers, top shelf. I am not kidding you.
Like need a ladder, top shelf, huh?
Oh, like no, it's connoisseur. Like it's private reserve. We're talking like you got to go in the back and dig it up out of the States to come and get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real, man. Those things are really good. Anyway, man, I just wanted to check in with you, man, and wish you a happy birthday, my friend.
I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you, man. I really do. Really appreciate it.
You are appreciated, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Steven. So is he back in good graces now?
Of course.
Yeah.
That puts him in
Counts
there.
even again?
Yeah, he's even.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. As we said, though, a tough night for one of Jay's guys, one of Kyle's guys. Maybe he's one of your guys. Patrick Beverly. His story next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HYBRID to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HYBRID for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HYBRID for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-high rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Vladdy Gleason and Jay Johnson today. Jay getting ready to celebrate his birthday tomorrow. How about that?
May the 4th be with you.
Aha.
I used to get that all the time.
Are you don't strike me as a Star Wars guy.
No, not at all. No Star Wars, no Star Trek, no Space Odyssey.
Harry Potter?
None of that. Zero.
Big Harry Potter
no,
guy?
haven't read one word from a Harry Potter book.
Dune,
like 50 Cent said.
You probably see all the Dune movies then.
That'd be no 2.
Okay.
Nothing there either.
All right.
This will surprise you, though. I did watch the Lord of the Rings series.
That was what okay.
I watched that. It was cool. It was all right. Yeah. I'm all about the battle scenes, the war scenes. I like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't really care for you got to go find, the magic ring to open the door, to press for the ocean to move, and you got to sit in the golden boat. Like, I don't need the Legend of Zelda type stuff, but I appreciated that. I'm not a Chronicles of Narnia, none of that stuff. No.
Game of Thrones?
No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, had a lot of
people loved it. I've never seen
gratuitous violence.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what it's based upon. I mean, besides, reading something.
It's just some guy made up a bunch of a story about a dragon and
sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, fantasy stuff.
Any of those things for you? Star Trek, Star Wars,
at different periods,
Sure.
like I go through periods where I'm, oh man. But right now I kind of
So when were you all in on Star Wars? The original 3?
No, when the second one came out, which was The Empire Strikes Back. When that came out and I saw that, it's like, that's the greatest thing I've
You're
ever
all
seen
in there.
life.
Gotcha.
And then everything else after that has been pretty everything. But that one was tremendous.
What about Star Trek? You into that?
My brother, one of my big brothers was huge Star Trek fan.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, when I was a kid,
I got you.
And I went to see the movies. One of them I think was filmed in San Francisco. So that's kind of interesting.
Did not know that. Yeah, I'm zero.
Yeah.
None of that, man.
When I was a child, I played with childish things, and I became a man and put away the childish things.
Oh.
So the Bible says. That's not true in my case, but it's an interesting quote.
It is.
Yeah.
You're drawing the line in certain things.
Here I am
a lot
with
of
my
people.
baseball cards, and I put away childish things. Is Imran coming in today?
Yeah, I told him we'll pull up. We'll see if him and Shep, they're doing their show or doing something around here, recording something. We'll pull up and see if he's got a jersey in his bag, because you know me. Look, don't come to this thing empty-handed.
Well, he just brought us some delicious.
Okay, you're right. That's not empty-handed. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, something from a bakery.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it was good.
Yeah.
I'll have another.
Type of bread source.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're right. Because I'm putting the pressure on them. I'm putting the pressure on our True Sports Card show hosts Imran and Shep. They do their show tomorrow 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturdays. But you can't be a memorabilia card guy and don't have something on you at all points in times.
Jay's like, don't even say hi to me unless you got a jersey.
Yes, you should have that in your back pocket like your driver's license and your ID. And he has everybody carries a backpack almost at this point, especially for what we do in media. If you have a backpack, you should have some inscripted Jason Williams, type photo in the back of your pocket.
Do you have a workbench at home? Anything close?
Not really. Yeah, it's kind of close. Yeah.
Okay, because you make it sound like Imran should have like his workbench, and then like when his hands gets dirty, he should just have like, this is a Bill Walton jersey. I don't need this one. I'll just use this as my rag.
Absolutely, he should. He definitely should. When you're in that mix, when you're in that world, you should have plethora.
Just all over.
Yes, a plethora of things, and he does. You go to the shop, he's got a plethora of things. You go to the second shop, which I've never been, heard he's got a plethora of things there as well. And when you go to the shop, you talk to him and you ask him, "Oh yeah, I got that in the storage." Well, bring it out.
Oh, he showed me some stuff he has in storage.
Well, I don't care.
It's like, I don't have this out, but here's a Roberto Clemente autographed baseball.
Absolutely. In the storage.
Yeah.
Collecting dust. Under who knows what, a messed up mattress.
Yes.
Bring that out.
He told me one time. No, he didn't tell me one time. Pardon me. I saw this at his store. Speaking of jerseys, and then we'll get to Patrick Beverley. He's got, I think I mentioned this to you, Jay. There's a box and it's got a jersey inside and
mystery box.
Yeah. And it could be an autographed Magic, could be an autographed Larry Bird, could be an autographed like Chris Middleton, but I think it's like $135. Now I was looking at it, I was like, ooh, I like those things.
I do too.
Now it's, the smart thing to do is find what you want, see it and pay money for it rather than gamble and play the lottery. But there's something about it. It's like, I can't resist. I want to see what I get.
The unknown.
Yeah.
The unknown has killed curiosity. Curiosity has killed plenty of folks, one way or another, and not, in the actual, but it's taken many different avenues on people's lives, careers. Curiosity is a strange thing, very difficult, brother, to deal with.
Yeah. A lot of cats.
Yes.
I understand. Have fallen victim. All right, Patrick Beverley. All I hear from you and Drapes is Kings need somebody like Patrick Beverley.
Sign me up.
Patrick Beverley would make everything better. Last night, Patrick Beverley, the audio we have is post-game, right?
Yes.
So before that, he got into it with a couple fans where I guess he didn't like what a fan was saying. You may have seen the video. Fan sitting right behind the Milwaukee bench. So he threw a ball into the seats, hit a lady in the head. And then the fan that I guess was the target got the ball, tosses it back to him because he's like, hey, give it here. The fan tosses it back to him, and then he heaves it at that fan really hard before Lopez gets involved. Like that right there, Barkley went off on that and said, that's got to be a big-time suspension.
Oh, it will. He'll probably sit down for 10 games coming next year, 10, 15, 25 games. Absolutely. Guess what? I'll take him. Still would. Still would take him.
Why?
Because sometimes you need somebody that's on the edge to make him to press the envelope.
And then there was this exchange after the game.
Yeah. You subscribe to my pod?
Do I subscribe to you? I do not.
So you can't interview me then. No
Okay,
disrespect.
well, Jamal is here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to kind of get over that hump, or maybe. Was it anything they did in particular, or was it just one of those where the bucket didn't go down, there wasn't the stop, they made one? What kind of prevented that you all from being able to get over, kind of like you have in the past?
You move that mic, please, or just get out the circle, please, for me, please, ma'am. If you're not subscribed to my pod, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow. This is a very well-respected ESPN producer who's gotten a lot of support from a lot of people, media and otherwise. Patrick Beverley has issued an apology today, right?
Yes.
The thing I don't understand is why he focused on her. How would he even know whether she subscribes, to his podcast or not?
I think, and you know this, and it's Melinda Adams, and she put out something via Twitter. She said, as I just lost it. Here we go. I want to thank everyone for their kind words and support. I am humbled. Patrick Beverley just called me and apologized. I appreciate it and accept it. The Bucks also reached out to apologize. I've been in news for over 40 years, and kindness and grace always wins. Totally understand. And let me take a step back. Propose that one more time, Whitey. Now that we got Melinda.
How did he even know that she did not subscribe to his podcast, and why did he care?
He cares because players care. He cares because people who are listening care. He cares because just what we're doing, we care. He cares because social influencers, they matter now. He cares because every time you open your phone or you turn on a television or you turn on a radio, someone's telling you sign up, listen here, go there, press the button here. People care now. That's why. So first of all, let's not act like that's not true. Everybody in this world is listening to somebody, subscribing to somebody, watching somebody. If that was the case, social network wouldn't even be that big. It's the biggest thing almost in the world right now, beside politics, probably.
The point is, it appears that he picks her out, focuses on her, and says, well, do you, all these people around, do you subscribe to my podcast? No, then please don't interview me. What about all the other people?
Because, and this is the other part of it, I believe, just like we all do, we know who's around us. One thing I always do when I walk into a building is I make sure I'm observing everything. We live in a crazy world right now. You better pay attention to everything around you. You better make sure your head is on the swivel.
Facing the door, if at all possible.
There you go. As you said, great advice. I would imagine, and Pat Bev's he's a sharp character. And when you sit down and you listen to him, as much as he's in your face and he's a little erratic on the basketball floor. Outside of that, total professional. We've never heard any problems. This is the first time we've had something, and this is still on the basketball court. But as crazy as he supposedly is, he hones everything inside. When you talk to him, he's very soft spoken. You listen to his podcast, he's not rah-rah. He's not Jay. He's not Kyle Draper. He's probably more Whitey, to be completely honest. But I think he knows who's around him. I'm pretty sure he's had some interaction with Melinda Adams. I'm pretty sure Melinda Adams has covered this team.
There's a history there. That could be.
Absolutely. Pat Bev's played in many locations throughout the NBA. I'm pretty sure he has a good beat on who, what, where, and why when it comes to the media.
Yeah, as we've been saying forever, Father Time's undefeated. Poor Patrick Beverley now, I think he's 35, and his numbers have dwindled. Right now, he's kind of a hired gun where if there's a team like the Bucks thought, well, we need somebody with that, let's get P-Bev. And he really didn't give him that much. And it's just a matter of his skills are declining to the point where the other things he brings to the party don't seem to matter as much. So I don't know, and I don't care. I'm not like, I can't stand that guy. I don't know that he really helps you. I just think he may be near the end of the road. It's hard to see how he's really that useful anymore.
Yeah, I could hear what you're saying when it comes to on the floor. I truly think, and we've seen it in many different avenues, Udonis Haslem, we see it with Draymond. I think there are people that bring leadership to the table. JaVale McGee was someone that I think was a hired gun, so to say, to be a leader on this team. Having championship pedigree, as much as sometimes he's portrayed as a knucklehead. I think some of the things when you sit down and listen to what he says, you can tell, obviously, his mother being who she was and being a professional and being a great female basketball athlete, being an athlete, I should just say, not even female, but just being a great athlete and Hall of Famer. I really think that you need guys like this in your locker room to showcase everything. Like, one thing Pat Bev can say, and this better than I do, is experience. I've been through it. I've seen it. I've done it. I've walked it. I've talked it. There's a lot of people on the Kings who have not. Absolutely have not. And again, I brought up the JaVale McGee exit interview. That was one of the things he continuously said in many different ways. But the one that caught me is like, look, we need a few knuckleheads. We need a few cats that don't have it together all the way. We need a couple of baby daddy type cats around here. That's saying something. That's a person, maybe not in the proper way to say it. That's his words. But that lets me know we don't have no dogs down here. We need somebody to come in there and exchange some words. Bring a little bit of the knucklehead to the team. Now, I don't need you to throw a ball at a fan.
And that's
absolutely. But
it's
again,
hard to separate.
This is his first time, though. This is his first time. It'd be different if he was a repeat offender. I'm not saying, and I get it. I know some people can call in 916-339-1140 and can say, one time is too many. Totally understand that. Completely understand that. I can't argue that. But I'm saying we all do make mistakes. I know I make them every single day. This is first time. He's not a repeat offender.
Right. The thing is, to me, I have a hard time equating everything he does to leadership. I understand the value of having somebody who's going to stand up for himself and for his team. There's great value in that. And I understand that you're saying the Kings could probably use somebody like that. The problem I have with Patrick Beverley right now, and it's not personal, I don't I don't care. I mean, he's made a career out of being the type of player that he is. But you look at the last few years, Milwaukee this year, Philly the year before that, and then he was with the Bulls, he was with the Lakers, Minnesota. He's been like with 5 teams in the last 4 years. And if you're really supplying leadership that's worthwhile, that doesn't happen. So to me, I just feel like he's at the point now where he's not as useful to teams anymore. His numbers this year, by the way, they weren't terrible. He just didn't play that much once he got traded from Philadelphia to Milwaukee. But I don't see it as being what he did last night. We could agree, I'm sure. That's not leadership.
No.
So if you're going to start doing things like that, you're right. First-time offender, but he is kind of a wild card. And I don't think I need a dog, but I don't need a dog that's dangerous, so dangerous off the leash.
Got the rabies. Yeah, he's need to give him that. Get him with that shot. I got you. You need to be vaccinated. I understand. I mean, he's not for everyone. Totally understand. Totally get it. I don't think he is someone that 3 years ago. He would bring it on the floor, to be in your face. He would contribute a little more. As you said,
he was with the Rockets for 5 years. He was with the Clippers for 5 years.
Yeah, bringing it.
He started bouncing around.
Sure. And I think part of it is because of his skill, his skill set, where he's not a big 3-point shooter. He's more defensively orientated.
Yeah.
He's more leadership orientated. He's more a rah-rah guy. He's more a leader. I think those guys at the end, how many times can we point to plenty of folks who've jumped around at the end? Look at Chris Paul. I mean, he's being traded like one of these cards you and Emran jumping around with every single weekend. So, it's almost like go fish with some of these people, so I get that, but I do think there's an opportunity. And I'll say this, if there was a problem, I don't think he would be in the league. I think he would be exit stage left.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I say that because someone that's around here, and look, it's not the same situation. They've had different injuries and all that, but DeMarcus Cousins, ultra talented. There's gotta be a reason why he's not getting a shot, right? Same situation. Now, the difference is sometimes a lot of people would argue DeMarcus goes too far on the court. I can agree with that. I think Pat Bev has shown, shown a stability to, not have to, beside last night now. Now, last night is a deal. The media thing, I'm not too worried about that, Whitey. What's your take on the media situation with Mrs. Melinda Adams?
My take on that.
Yeah, like what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's inexcusable. And it happens. I'm not outraged and shocked, but it's like there's just no business for that. We've been in those scrums. We know how difficult they are. And there's a reporter that's just doing her job. And by all accounts, she does it very well and very professionally. Then she gets singled out like that. That can be humiliating. And it sounds like she's handled it well, but that's just ludicrous. There's no excuse for that. And he's apologized to his credit.
Sure.
But still, it's like, what? I don't know why in the world you would do that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
The toughest part, too.
Unless she had said, and even then, you're not supposed to do that. If she had been harshly critical of him, maybe, but I just don't understand his motivation on that at all. I'm baffled by that.
Yeah, you just got into a confrontation with fans, and then you're heading to Cancun, Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah,
and you see someone who don't support you.
Yeah, yeah,
and people getting their feelings.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I'm not, by all means, I agree with you. This isn't the proper time to have the conversation, I would say, because I would lose based on what Patrick Beverley has done over the last 24 hours. But I do think there is an opportunity to have this conversation, and we can have it down the road, especially with Draper being part of the media on a different level. There are things and ways, and people are treated differently in the media. And they Scott, let me say that. I think the media treat people differently because they're humans as well. And I think athletes are starting, because now they have the open mic, and now they have podcasts, and now they have social network. I think some of the media, they're getting their feelings hurt because they're catching what they've put on some of these athletes over years. And now it's kind of, and I'm not saying Melinda Adams did that by all means, because it sounded like she just came with a mic and wanted to ask a question, and Pat was in his feelings. But I think there are opportunities, And I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I'm pretty sure you have. Where sometimes media can get out of pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And they get away with a lot,
mm-hmm.
And so I think there's a give and take in that. I thought Pat Bev just didn't handle himself properly last night. He apologized. Yeah. Hopefully, he makes it up to Mrs. Adams. I think he definitely could have been better for sure.
Yeah. And by the way, I misspoke. I think I said P. Bev was with the Clippers 5 years. It was 4, but still he was there a long time, and he was part of the leadership there. The other thing with the Kings, if we're talking the Kings and Patrick Beverley, to me, because he's not the player that he once was, I can't afford him. I would like to have that other element, that edge, but I need more talent if I'm the Kings right now. And to me, it's like a guy that maybe isn't the player that he even used to be, but he gives you some of that edge. I don't know if I can afford that luxury right now, Jay. Nothing against him, but I need more talent.
Yeah, I think if you catch him like you did JaVale with the NBA vet minimum for what he brings in, he's just replacing what JaVale has done. I would have loved Pat Bev before we found Keon Ellis. I think Keon is a younger version of Pat Bev. I think he shoots it a little bit better. That's without me looking at the statistics, obviously. And Pat Bev's had a long career. Keon is just starting his career. So that's a little different to compare. But I would like to say I see a little something in Keon as Pat Bev. Now, I don't think Keon has the attitude, but I do think Keon has a little roughness to him. Like, you're just not going to ruck shot and run through Keon.
That's interesting you say that, because we just had a little while ago, about half hour ago, somebody on the text line compared Keon to somebody else from the 831. I see shades of Drew Holiday and Keon Ellis. I would like to see that, but I don't. I love both those players. I've gone to the bat for Keon Ellis, and I love Drew Holiday. But to me, Drew Holiday is just, right now anyway, he is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than Keon Ellis.
And he's more offensively talented,
a lot
too. More skilled. Yeah.
Yes.
Not saying Keon can't develop that.
Keon's kind of at best right now a 3-and-D guy at best, and Drew Holiday is.
Do you trust his 3-point shot that much though?
Well, as I said, at best. If we're like his ceiling right now, upside. If everything is he's playing great, he's a 3-and-D guy. Drew Holiday is way more than that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And I think Keon has an opportunity to be a lockdown defender though.
Yes.
Like Drew Holiday for a long time was perennial, one of probably the top 3 defensive point guards. Like I think Keon has an opportunity to kind of be in that Matisse Thybulle, Herb Jones, Lucas Dort, Lou Dort, I should say. I think he can be in that conversation of being, like I think Mike said, Klay Thompson at one point in time was the best two-way shooting guard in the league. I think he has an opportunity to be a top flight defensive guard. I'm not sure offensively though. What I see, he's as skilled as Drew Holiday. I don't know if he'll ever be that. Hopefully he does though.
Yeah, I thought Drew Holiday had a lot to do with the Pelican success. Remember when they had AJ?
Yes.
They had Rondo and Cousin. He got hurt. But people didn't look at him. For some reason, they kind of ignored him. It's like, oh, yeah, he's good. But, Anthony Davis and Rondo. For some reason, his contributions get overlooked. But the thing is, both he and Keon can come in and have an impact on a game defensively.
Absolutely.
That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Keon did that already this year.
Yeah.
Coming in, it's like, wow, he's making a difference. He hadn't even taken a shot yet.
Yeah, no, and I think Keon, the one thing that really surprised me from Keon is he doesn't mind mixing it up.
Yeah.
He'll get in your space a little bit, and I also think I've seen him a few times make a couple of plays, defensively, and he's going to let someone know about it too. Like he doesn't shy away from, I got you. Or, I'm give it up to me, crowd. Like one thing about it. And so I like I guess what I'm saying is I think he has a little passion to him.
He plays with emotion.
Yes.
But after the game, when you talk to him, he's pretty
even keel.
Yeah. Which is a great combination. That's why it was so disappointing, Jay. Don't you think it was disappointing that against the Pelicans and when the Kings needed to win to get in the playoffs, he didn't play well. There's a million reasons possibly why. But it almost looked at times like, wow, this game understandably might be too big for Keon. Again, understandable, but we hadn't seen that all year, so it was disappointing.
Yeah, it was. He had finished with no points, right? He had 0 points, I think. Yeah. So, but I mean, look, just like the Kings, Keon is growing.
Yes.
By all means, if we were 3-4 years down the road, I'd say that's a problem. Next year, let's see what it brings. Now, with more than ever, he knows he'll have a spot. He knows he's going to play. He knows he's going to get some time. I'm not sure if he begins the year at as a starting 2 guard. I would probably say no. Knocking on wood, I hope Malik comes back. But I would say this. I could see Keon becoming our 6th man if Malik leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could see him, stepping into that role with the understanding, I have to bring the electricity from the bench and I have to be that guy. Yes. Yeah, probably defensively. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Look, then you got to go get a higher gun offensively.
Yeah. Well, a year ago, Keon Ellis was the guy the Kings looked at and said, he might be an NBA player. We don't know. And now he's definitely, it's a matter of how good he can be. He's definitely an NBA player. When we come back, we'll take a look at the winner of the NBA Hustle Award and which King had the most hustle points. You think about that. The answer's coming up next. Jay and Whitey, Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Jay's birthday is such a big deal. Kyle Draper took the day off.
Yeah, he did.
For Jay's birthday.
Yes.
And we're like, of course you did. Of course you did. Bless you.
Try to connect with my guy Drapes over in Vegas this weekend, though.
Okay.
He's coming in town Sunday.
All right. If you see him, ask him how he did last night.
Will do. He might be running from it.
We don't know. I have a feeling that if he did well, we're going to hear from him today. And if he didn't, we won't. But that's just a hunch. I don't know. Don't you think that's likely? I mean, if he went off for 21 or something, hey guys, what's going on? I gotta tell you how I did last night.
He did hit me and say happy birthday though. So
okay.
Yeah, maybe it's just Drapes is one thing about Drapes, man. He's been traveling for a long time. You can definitely tell Drapes needs to have a gasp of air. He needs to sit back and relax a little bit. He's off all next weekend. So maybe he's just, trying to wind down from the season.
Mm-hmm. We have a winner of the NBA's Hustle Award. This is not one that's voted on. It's based on how players finish in categories like deflections, loose balls, charges drawn, contested shots, screen assists, and box outs. So they factor all that in, and the one who has the best overall score in all those categories is the Hustle Player of the Year. And this year's NBA Hustle Player of the Year is Alex Caruso from the Chicago Bulls. He was named the winner yesterday. He was first in deflections per game. Okay. I think De'Aaron might have been first in deflections overall. He loose balls recovered, 7th in charges drawn. So anyway, congratulations to Alex Caruso. That whole thing reminds me of the old, anybody remember the hustle board at the old Arco?
Yes.
Arco 2?
Yes.
And it would be like offensive rebounds, steals, blocks, and then they would have a total, which is like, total what?
Mm-hmm.
Total hustles? Anyway,
Right.
it never quite made sense. But it's the same idea here. So let's look at how the Kings did in some of these categories. Would it surprise you to know that a Sacramento King led the NBA in screen assists?
Screen assist.
Screen assist is when I set a screen while there's a shooter and he makes it.
I'd say Domas.
Domas is number one in the whole NBA.
Yep.
5.9 screen assists per game.
DHOs.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but a lot of them are. Sure. Rudy Gobert was second.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Deflections. Okay. I was wrong. Caruso was first, 3.7. De'Aaron Fox was second, 3.6 deflections per game. Then who do you think is next on the Kings in deflections? I don't know the answer. I have to go down the list here.
Malik Monk.
Let's see, 3.4, 2.7, going all the way down.
It's either him or Keegan.
King. I don't see any.
Dang, we didn't make the top 50, top 100.
I don't see it. We'll go back to that one. Let's see. Loose balls recovered.
Okay.
Who do you
Hustle
think?
plays.
Which Sacramento King led the team?
Oh.
Loose balls recovered. I can tell you that he had 0.9 a game.
0.9 a game. Keegan Murray.
That was De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron, okay.
De'Aaron Fox.
Okay. Should have just won with the quickness, the speed. Huh?
Domas was second on the team and then 40-something in the league. Domas also was on the board. And Keegan Murray was also on there with 0.8.
Okay.
It was 0.8.
Okay.
And, these are, to me, it's interesting because these were the types of things that Mike Brown was stressing all year.
Truth.
We got to do these. We got to do this. So charges drawn should be a big one, a significant one. Which Sacramento King do you think led the team in Keegan, huh?
Yeah, I'm going Keegan.
By the way, Brandon Pajemski was first in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah.
The Rook?
0.51 per game. Kobe Simmons, Jalen Brunson, Kyle Arizona, Marcus Smart, Mo Wagner.
Davion probably up there too for the Kings.
Yeah.
Or at least leading the Kings, not up there, but
leading the Kings at 0.17?
Oh, that's Davion.
Keegan!
Should have stuck with my first answer.
I will give it to you. Yeah, Keegan was first. And let's see, any other categories there? Well, they have contested shots. And
so what that means, just get your hand up?
Well, I think it means, I believe it means you got to get your hand up and you got to be within a reasonable distance.
Man, we're you know what, Whitey? We keep stats for anything. You can make a player great at anything.
Well, I mentioned this because there's a King that's not too far down the list.
Okay.
7.8 contests per game. Number one in the league is Brook Lopez, 15.6. And way down there, but leading the Kings.
And what is this out of how many shots? Like what 15.6 contested shots out of how many shots? 100, 30,
I don't have
50?
that for you.
Yeah.
7.8 per game. Domas, which makes sense. The center is probably going to be.
He's in the paint.
Because a lot of times the guy standing next to him
Right.
shoots it. So, yeah. So that's how the Kings.
Who's keeping these stats, man? Who is we are getting to a point, and I know this for sure. It's too analytical sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, man? You get your hand up within 3 feet 7.8 times out of 30 shots or 10 shots, or well, it can't be out of 10 because Brook Lopez is 15 point something. So it's got to be out of 150, something of that nature.
Yeah, I actually skipped a few of the categories.
No Kings on those.
Screen assist points.
Screen assist points. Okay.
Yeah, they have the loose balls recovered broken down into offense and defense and percentage.
Where does one find these stats at?
NBA.com.
Man.
Contested 2-point shots, contested 3-point shots, but I saved you some of the details. But it's interesting to see that I think Domas led the Kings in hustle points this year, it looks like.
Yeah, I could see that. Scrapper. You know, Domas and De'Aaron, they played the most minutes too. So
right. Right.
They have the more opportunity. Some of these stats, though, they're getting crazy, White. Like, they're getting tremendously, and I've seen them. Hits the most doubles at nighttime on a Thursday. Like, what?
The one that, as far as analytics go, that I don't understand, and I'm sure there's something to it, and it's so involved, I'm too feeble-minded to understand. But in baseball, sometimes you hear about with a runner on second base and one out, the chance for them to score is whatever percent, right? So sometimes managers, it's dictated by the front office. Well, in that situation, you have to do this because the math says it's a 0.48 chance of scoring or whatever it is. And my thing is, wait, doesn't it matter who's pitching, who the guy in second is, who the batter is? Don't those things matter? But it seems like somebody's like, nope, it's a mathematical formula. Runner in second, nobody out. He's got this mathematical chance to score.
Yeah.
Well, how fast is he? Who's on? And it seems like that stuff doesn't matter so much.
What's the count? All kind of things.
Yes.
Who's, like you said, who's pitching? Who's it? Yeah, I'm with you. We've gotten to the point, and I understand. Look, all these people who are bringing these stats. Hopefully, at this point, they've created so many job opportunities. Please do that. But now you sit down, and this talking to Jerry Reynolds, guys like that. These coaching staffs, they're 25 deep. Not to mention interns and everything else that go along with it, scouts and, analytical guys. It's like, man, you got 72 people sitting behind the bench at one point in time. And, we're privy to this information. They sit in certain areas that a lot of times I don't think most people really pay attention. They're intertwined with fans, especially when you're on the road. You got some of your guys that have laptops and, they're doing certain things while the game is going on, film and all that. I mean, just look at the challenges. Every coach has someone behind them that they immediately look at, challenge, and they're all in the hissy.
Right.
Should we challenge? Should we challenge?
The one guy, he's like, oh, yes. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I'm good. Sometimes you just gotta trust your eyes. Like, he's a ball player. Nah, he's not gonna cut it.
Though,
yes.
That's dangerous, isn't it? I mean, to me, you gotta meet everything kind of in the middle. And if you got the analytics, whatever, it's like, I'll look at them. All right. I mean, supposedly that's how Billy Beane built the A's and made them a good team, the Moneyball A's, because he trusted more than his eyes.
But did they win a championship? That'd be negative. I'm not even gonna let you. No need to even allow you to answer. Did they win a championship?
No, but the Cubs did and the Red Sox did, and they combined the Moneyball with actual money.
There it goes.
Yeah,
come on now. Don't get me started on John Lester blowing leads here on this show. A day before my birthday. I know. I'm just saying.
All on your own.
For everything, and I understand. Look, Billy Beane is a great general manager, one of the greatest to do what he's done with the little bit of wallet that he has been, been available. Like, there's very few times the A's have said, we're going all in. We're throwing everything we can to go win a championship. And the year or two that they did it, you get Samardzija and John Lester choking. So. But with that being said, I don't need you to tell me that they get hits on a Wednesday morning when the wind's above 30 miles per hour and they're facing a left-hander who came from the College of Syracuse. Like, sometimes our stats get too deep.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's too much, man.
Yeah. You read about a player, it used to be so-and-so is off to a great start this year. He's hitting whatever. Oh, it's a great story. Now it's so-and-so's hitting whatever. However, his exit velocity suggests that he won't be hitting that for much longer. Huh? How do you, what? You're right, though, about all the assistants in the NBA. It reminds me of one of my favorite. You mentioned Jerry Reynolds. And he would have like an assistant way back when NBA coaches had an assistant. And I think they also had like the athletic trainer who had to keep track of timeouts.
Shout out Pete Young.
Yeah. So
Legendary.
Jerry told me one time they were playing, I think it was against the Bullets, and they had that Robin Ficker, who was a great heckler. He was known for his heckling, and he was yelling at Jerry the whole game. Reynolds, how'd you do it? Reynolds, I can't figure out how you did it. And Jerry's coaching the game. You try to ignore him. I don't know how you did it, Reynolds. How did you do it? You deserve a lot of credit. Finally, Jerry goes, what? How I did what? He goes, I can't believe you found an assistant coach uglier than you. And he said his assistant coach didn't like him, but Jerry said, that's pretty funny.
I mean, he's got one guy, a right-hand man, Now these man, and I get it. You have to grow. You need to get better. Thankfully, it creates job opportunities. But some of these staffs, man, you go down there, like you dudes are riding with 2 757 Boeing planes to come in.
Right.
30 coaches.
Yeah. But it is better now because I think way back when, we guys like Johnny Unitas, they'd call their own plays. Well, they probably had like 6 plays, right? Run the ball this way, that, and he was great. I know Johnny Unitas was great, but now it's so sophisticated and involved. It's not like, maybe some people would like to see. I think quarterbacks should still be able to do that. Mm-hmm. They can't. It's not physically possible.
True.
Even now, even though the quarterbacks are hearing from the sideline to the press box, they still have everything written down for them because it's so complicated on the wristband, right? And they need help reading the plays. So I think things are probably better in that regard.
And that standpoint, I'm just going to the analytics side of it too, though. There's so many numbers that are being crunched where we have so many different brackets of what you can, you're being judged upon. Like some of the stats and categories you were just reading, deflections, loose balls. Okay, cool. But the fact that you got your hand up within 5 feet of another player
and contest,
what is a contest?
What were some of the numbers that you were judged on? It wasn't that long ago. You were playing baseball.
Yeah, but
exit velocity and stuff like that.
Exit velo wasn't as big when I was coming up. Batted average, which we've had a conversation, but it was 5.2. No, you get hit 0.9. Like somebody's hitting 0.97. They find it was it Abreu, I think. They just finally sent them down to the minors, but yeah, they're 5-tool player, defense, of course, your speed, intelligence, but as far as like analytics, it definitely was how quick you were, release time, the speed you could throw the ball across the infield was something that, a lot of people talked about. Your swing rate, your speed of your swing rate, which, yeah, absolutely. Which, who had the fastest I've ever come across? Gary Sheffield. And all the camps and everything I ever went to, Gary Sheffield was swinging the bat immensely fast. And he had to with that wild little stance he had. So stuff like that, man. It wasn't it wasn't contested. How many times can you see the catcher from second base and blink twice? It wasn't none of that.
Yeah. Jay's being modest. I think you told me one time at some camp you had the second highest bat speed and was second only to Gary Sheffield.
Yeah.
But it was like his was a little.
I tied A-Rod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I got that paper, man. Some of this stuff, like someone asked me this about Emron. He was like, I looked you up or whatever. You got a card. And I'm like, yeah, it's in my mom's garage somewhere. It is what it is. I'm blessed. Baseball took me further than I could ever imagine in the world. I met a lot of great people. A lot of people say you were the top 1% in the world, which you are when you get to that level. You are, but there is I wouldn't change anything. Like I could have chose to do certain things different. I didn't, but sometimes, man, I do look at it and I'm like, man, I was pretty decent now. I was good.
Yes.
I was good. Now, one thing I could do, I always say, and people have called up here, I can hit, man. I could hit. You could put anybody on the mound, and that's the truth. People have called and put on this text message how good I can hit, man. Like you put Roger Clemens up there, brother. I'd smoke Roger Clemens boxing right back up. It was the other things that went with it. I was small. I didn't hit for power. Certain things that kept me away from.
You could have been Altuve before Altuve.
No, Altuve can rake. He was on a different level, and he's way faster than me too. Like someone I came up and grew up with. I played with Dustin Pedroia.
Woodland.
Absolutely. Pedroia was a heck of a ball player, in high school. He got better in college for sure. Definitely. From what I remember.
All right. Yeah. More with Jay when we come back. Also, good luck buying that NBA title. It's no longer the case that the more you spend, the more you win in the NBA. Details are coming up on this Friday with the Drive Guys. Jay and Whitey, Sacktown Sports.
Guys, are you still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers guaranteed low T and ED treatments, and this month only, qualified patients get a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. Availability is limited. Book your free exam and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566 That's 916-365-4566 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's autographexpo.com.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Everyone knows that a group of fish is called a school, but did you know a group of giraffes is called a tower? Or how about a murder of crows, a quiver of cobras, a shadow of jaguars, a shiver of sharks, or a zeal of zebras? Wild, huh? So what do you call a group of Bell Brothers plumbers? They don't fit into any of the traditional plumber stereotypes. They're clean and well-dressed. They're on time and courteous. They're well-trained and friendly. They're exactly the kind of people you'd be comfortable and confident to invite into your home. That's why we proudly call them our family of plumbers. If you need a drain cleared or any other plumbing service, we'll send one of the family right over to help you out. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app. The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Happy Friday. Speaking of Monday through Friday, Monday, I was just talking about Jerry Reynolds. Jerry Reynolds will be in because Drapes and Mr. J will both be, you guys are both going to be in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Legendary Jerry Reynolds.
Yes.
Legendary.
Yes. And then you're back Tuesday.
I am, sir.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Have a great birthday. Did you get, I guess Steven left you something?
Man, shouts out to Steven. Just a heck of a guy. And we got a little cookie action here.
Nice.
So, I'll partake, and I know you will as well, right?
Yeah, I'm also a member of the May Birthday Club.
You're 20 what?
We'll see.
No. Put it on the table now. Don't run from it.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be the grumpy troll under the bridge since that's what you're being, but That's fine.
Well, we're focusing on you today.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man. We got all the love for you, and we'll double back on some of the cans that you love.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, let's get Mitch on here, huh? Mitch has been hanging on. Mitch, what's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. What do you got going on? Are you playing the organ or something, Mitch?
That's my grandson. I think he plays better than me.
All right.
22 months.
What can we do for you?
Yeah. Thank you. I don't want Beverly. What he did was over the top. He always blows the top. I want somebody like D'Anthony Melton from the Sixers. And that's another team that really messed up again, another offseason. And don't we have Monk under Larry Bird rights? So we can sign him for any amount, right?
No. Thanks for the call. I'm with you. And we both agreed on Melton, actually.
Yes. Love Melton.
No. The thing is with Monk, because you just signed him to a 2-year deal, so you got nothing right now. So what's the thing? You could offer him 1 year, and then you
1+1 is what they call it.
Yeah,
right?
you could do that, but then he would have to assume a lot of risk. But yeah, Mitch, that's the whole problem. They don't have the bird rights, so they're limited as to what they can offer.
Do you think in typical Sacramento fashion, and I'm not saying he hasn't earned this to a certain extent, if they had his birds rights, do you think the Kings will be crazy enough to give him 4 for the 120 or whatever he would get?
If I didn't know better, I would say that Jay has inside information that Monk is leaving because Jay never misses a chance to take a shot at him.
No.
I'm kidding.
By all means, I love Malik Monk. I hope he stays. I hope it works out to the point of he stays here and gets paid.
Yes.
He deserves to get paid for what he's brought to Sacramento community. And what, the excitement and leadership and everything he's done here.
Yeah.
Dude has been an absolute warrior. I hope he stays. If he leaves, I'm going to be crushed, man. I'm going to be hurt.
See, that's the type of thing. If I said that to Kyle, he'd get, what?
Yeah.
You're too smart. You don't take the bait on that.
No, man.
No,
Come on. No rat trap over here now, brother. I mean, it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, the money looks better somewhere else, doesn't it not?
How do you mean now?
Because one thing about it is California money don't look that good when you're looking at Texas and Florida and other places like
Kings
that.
where they spend their money.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's considering that Florida, Orlando may be one of the teams chasing them. That could be a huge factor. But some people are looking at Philly. We talked about how Philly right now is pretty much, put the sign up. We're looking for big name help. Some people think Philly might have interest in Malik Monk.
I wouldn't see why not. I think they're big game hunting though. I think they're fly fishing. They got the rifle out. They're shooting for the big buck. I just don't see. I think he's secondary to them. I really do. I wouldn't see why he would be their number one. I think Malik Monk's going to be one of those guys where you see, and we don't have a lot of stars hitting the free agent market this year, to be completely honest. Stars, superstars, guys that can really add to what we think Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are looking for, which probably is somebody on the wing. A la Paul George is being tossed around there. But I do think Malik is going to be one of those guys. He'll see the first wave go. And then once the first initial wave is signed, sealed, and delivered, he'll be looking towards okay, I'm in that second wave.
Here's what Daryl Morey, who runs the Sixers, has publicly said he's looking for. You tell me, is this Malik Monk?
You going to believe it, though?
Morey has said publicly the Sixers are looking for a high-level two-way player as well as more playmaking. Is that Malik Monk? High-level two-way player as well as more playmaking.
Yes. That's about 75%.
Yeah. The two-way thing. Malik's not now I sound like you taking shots at him. Malik's not a terrific defender.
No, he's not, man. He's a solid defender. He's average. I think most people would say he's average defender.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else he does, at least since he's come to Sacramento, has proven to be, just to the point you forget about it. You're not even worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have the Keon Ellises. That's why you have the Dylan Brooks. That's why you have the Pat Bevs. That's why you have the Lou Dortz. That's why you have the Matisse Tybals. Those type of guys. You got to have those in your willpower.
You must have a thing for Lou Dort because that's the second or third time you mentioned
it
today.
Lou's a premier defender, man.
Yeah, he's tough. He's one of those tough guys.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, unlike Patrick Beverly, Lou Gantz Dort is still very productive right now.
Yeah, he's a younger version of him, man. You talking about taking shots?
Still,
you taking some shots at my boy Pat Bev.
Patrick Beverley is a relic. He's just like, that's great. Now it's like
I see through you now, man. You've been painting a facade over the last 3 or 4 months. You're not a Pat Bev guy. Just say it now. Just put it out there.
I thought it was clear, but if I have to say it, yes, I'm not.
There you go. Stand on it. 10 toes down.
I'm sorry. I didn't know there was any question about that. Thank you to Jay for pointing this out to me. Yeah. Henry Abbott, I think, pointed this out.
Yeah.
Real quick here.
True hoops.
True hoops. The teams that are paying the most money are not the teams in the NBA having the most success. Of the top 10 payroll teams right now, top 10, only the Clippers, Boston, Denver, and the Knicks are still playing. And as you pointed out, Jay, as we all know, Clippers may not be playing for much longer.
Yeah.
So that's only for the top 10 in payroll. Now, of the top 15 highest paid players, you got only Jokic, 5th highest paid, Kawhi and PG and Gobert. They're the only ones. Those 4 are the only 4 of the top 15 highest paid players who are still playing.
Man, that's amazing. When you hear that,
a lot of it is because, like I was just saying about Patrick Beverley, a lot of the highest paid players now are the older players. The older players have a harder time staying healthy this time of year. Top 5 earners, let's see, average 34 years old. The top 5 earners in the NBA, their average age right now, 34 years old. The top 5 playoff scorers right now, their average age is 25.
Wow. Out with the old, in with the new, changing of the guard.
Yeah, so that's another thing to keep in mind going forward with the Kings.
Wow. It's good information there.
Well, you gave it to me.
I know, but I'm just, listen, you utilize it. Sometimes.
Remember a couple of days ago, we had the argument. I was trying to say, LeBron with the payroll, it's hard to build a team around him. And we went back and forth on that a little bit.
Yeah, true. LeBron's a different beast, though.
Yeah.
One thing he's going to do is he's going to bring monetary substance to your team no matter what. And you can't tell me a person like Vivek, who might be in the running, as I've continued to keep saying, it's chess, not checkers. I think he's in the running for doing something big when it comes to the A's, especially when, you got $500 million of private funding you need to get to. Doesn't look like that's going to happen unless you want to finance a Whitey. But I'm just saying,
thinking about it.
I know you got the chips and the cheddar. I get it. I understand. But my part of that too, though, is you can't turn down LeBron. At any point in time, if LeBron is still putting on a jersey, you don't turn him down.
Who's going to be LeBron's next coach? We'll get to that. Also, Imran Pilati from True Sports Cards. He's going to join us next.
He sure better have something in his bag. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have a card in that backpack or something, I'm going hard.
I have a feeling if you're around, it won't be in his bag for long. Next, with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Since you probably can't afford your own sports psychologist, Golf Monthly's Fergus Bissett offers 5 golf psychology tips to help you play better. First, stay in the present. If your mind is ahead of you, how can you focus on the shot at hand? Second, every shot is a new challenge. The objective of every shot is to get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes. Go do it. 3, the past is the past. Many of us dwell on the past. Not good. Clear your mind and move on to the next shot. 4, never surrender. Some give up on their rounds too quickly. Your fortunes on the course can change with one swing or one decent break. Lastly, stay positive on the greens. If you're having one of those days where the putts don't drop, focus on the positives. If you're putting on your intended line, that's a good thing. Keep it up and they'll begin to fall. And remember, it's a game, so go out there and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Happy Friday, Whitey and Jay, who's getting ready to celebrate his birthday tomorrow. And to help us celebrate Jay's birthday, from True Sports Cards, we have, of course, Imran Pilati. And welcome to the Drive Guys, Tim Shepler. How are you guys doing?
Oh, doing great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of texting that we're live on.
Gotta turn your mic on, professional.
Yeah.
Hey,
I got two hands on my phone tapping here, so I'm just trying to get this done. Yeah, great to be here. I'm so glad that you invited us in.
Yeah.
So awesome.
And you guys get ready to do your show tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Tomorrow, yeah.
It will be 10 o'clock. You can always listen to us, and we tons of good topics about the industry conference that happened down in Atlanta. A lot of new things happening in cards, and just talking about our big expo coming up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're excited about that.
We'd be remiss. Emil out on assignment, obviously. So, we're focused on the show that's upcoming, but got to throw that love to that 49ers Insider.
Mm-hmm.
Always putting in the work.
Yeah, he was just here. He told me, they don't need me this week. You said he's on assignment. He was right here a minute ago.
He was assigned to not be on.
Okay. Man. What did the playoffs do to values of basketball player cards?
Well,
Jalen Brunson right now, is there like that skyrocketing?
And Anthony Edwards, I mean, look what he's done. Everybody's now comparing him. He's got that Michael and Kobe behind him. And so I think a lot of people are starting to chase him down, see what he's done. And the playoffs are always surprising because you could also have guys that just come off the bench that weren't very collected, that all of a sudden have a very good, big impact on their game, their team, how their team moves forward, and it drives those prices for those guys up. And that's where people come in to the value box, and they're finding a guy for $3, and he's now at 30. So it's you see these guys take off, and Brunson and Edwards are two of the big guys. I think this offseason, this playoff series, that have done that.
It was unbelievable. I was watching the game last night, obviously, like everybody was. Brunson is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he, top 5 candidate for MVP? But when you see a guy like that making shot after shot after shot, and he's got to be, Jay, how tall are you?
5'8".
Maybe 5'9", 5'10". He says he's 6 foot. There's no way that guy's 6 foot.
And everyone knows who the ball's going to. I mean, they have some other guys, DiVincenzo knocking down some big shots and Hart, but basically it's, where the ball's going, and he just dares you to stop him. And I think that's the type of guy the Kings need, right? Because when the Knicks brought Brunson in, with Dallas, he was like 16 points a game guy. He's like, oh, he's a really good scorer. But then he went to the Knicks because they knew, all right, this guy can do this. And that's kind of where the Kings are. They need to find somebody who's here who they can get to do
Remember
that.
How they were complaining about his contract when he first signed? They overpaid. Yeah. Now it's like, that might be the best deal in the game. It really is.
It'll switch soon. Don't worry about it. This year or two on that. Believe me, this offseason, he'll be ready to be like, we need to renegotiate.
4 for $104 million. You're right. And at the time, it's like, whoa, that's an awful lot for this guy.
$25 million roughly a year for a guy that's dropping 43 in the playoffs on
there's a guy.
game?
Yeah, there is a guy in Sacramento who could be the next Brunson.
Yeah.
And his name is Malik Monk. So let's keep him here. Because, I mean, he's on that same course.
I believe it.
Because Brunson was that up-and-coming guy. He just needed that bigger opportunity. And I think that Malik's that guy. Give it to him.
Yeah.
I would love to have him that opportunity.
Somebody's going to give it to him, and the Kings can only give him, unfortunately, what they can give.
I know we just walked in, so I don't know the context of how much you guys have been talking about it. But like when you think about what he's going to be able to be offered by other teams, particularly like in Orlando,
Philly, maybe San Antonio, maybe
OKC, Detroit.
I mean, there's a lot. OKC,
but
they'd have to be looking at their salaries coming up and going, we got to pay all these guys some serious money here shortly.
Yeah,
and I think the two people that they'd be looking at OKC of saying sayonara would be Dort and Giddey.
It's like the 15th time Lou Dort has come up today. He's
a baller.
He's
I
clutch.
like Lou Dort, but every time I turn out,
he's
Lou Dort.
He's a little wrecking
he's
ball.
Going to be the focus of the show. I have no problem
Listen,
with it.
Sacktown Sports 1140, home of the Lou Dort conversation.
Yes.
I can just see the ratings immediately dropping right now.
Not unless he's coming. If he comes, it's going to skyrocket.
Tim Shepler from True Sports Cards. How about the Tyrese Halliburton, the value of cards? Because obviously people loved him, and I wasn't here when he came here, but I know people loved him. And then he leaves the area, but his national profile is skyrocketing. So what's his popularity in the area still like, and what about the value of his cards? How's that?
He's still very collectible. And he's still like, people still go back, wow, we traded the wrong guard. And it's like, guys, it happened. It's over. It's happened. He's still sought after. The big thing is that it's hard with all of his rookie cards, all the big cards you want. He's a Sacramento King.
Yeah.
Versus being an Indiana Pacer. So that can dilute the value just a little bit, but he is still a star. It's still people are going after. And he's one of those guys. I'm glad that he was a Sacramento King. We got to enjoy him. But his value is still strong as ever. And he keeps moving. He moves the Pacers on. The Pacers are like Sacramento Kings fans. I mean, they love their guys and they're going to promote their teams. And it's great to see a small market move up. So it'll help drive the value of his product or his cards more. The more he plays and plays well.
We loved him. And I think why we loved him so much was because, and as you said, you weren't here at that moment, but the fact of the matter is that the guy loved being here. He wanted to be here. And when you have somebody that says, I want that small market team, supposedly, a small market team, I want to be a part of that. I want to be part of the community. It's difficult when you see them shipped off. The trade, I think, has been just fine. Domas has been awesome. And, but I just feel like when you have somebody that says, I want to be a part of this community from the very beginning, and then you ship them off, it's just difficult. And there was a lot of hard feelings about that. Vice versa. When we talk about collectability, we have Sabonis. He's great. He's awesome in the community, hardest working guy. Guy has something bruised on his body at any given time because of how he gets beat up when he plays. But when you look at his rookie cards, the most sought after version of a card, he's all wearing OKC stuff. So it's a unique scenario where we want his rookie card, but we kind of want him in a Kings jersey because that's what he's known for. And, so it's what it is. But when you have a legacy player, somebody that starts and finishes their career with one team, like a Curry, when a Curry starts with the Warriors with busted up ankles and then he ends his career on a high note as one of the 15 greatest players of all time, that legacy, that scenario creates such collectability in their memorabilia to where you see people that are absolutely awesome players like a Dwayne Wade. And then you see him go to the Cavaliers, and then you see him go to the Bulls, or you see Shaq, and then he's, the big cactus in Arizona Suns, and Celtics. Ooh. Like those are tarnished years. It really, yeah, he looked like the Mick Shamrock is what he looked like.
Like a Shamrock Shake.
Yeah, Shamrock Shake. So yeah, I think that when you have a legacy player, and Fox has a chance at that, right? Fox has a chance of being drafted in 2017, showing his cards, his memorabilia, his everything in the Kings jersey, and finishing hopefully with a championship or two under his belt, some multiple all-star appearances, and the guy ends as a King and might be the greatest King ever. That's what we would love to see.
Wow. That's Imran Pilati, and we got Tim Shepler from True Sports Cards with us.
Yeah, quick question, fellas, on that, kind of following that up is, of course, we're here in Sacramento. We're localized. We all kind of keep our eye on national. Of course, you guys being a part of the Sac Sports 1140 family. With that being said, who does well locally, for you guys when it comes to like cards, shops, memorabilia, outside of the local teams, the Giants, the 49ers, the Kings? Like, who does well here locally?
Basically, any of what you would think traveling teams do well.
Lakers,
Steelers,
Knicks, stuff like that.
Yeah, Lakers do well. Steelers, Packers, like the traditional longevity teams that are they transfer with people.
Are the
that move
Raiders
around.
still kind of semi Imran?
I don't know.
No,
I don't feel it.
I don't. And they
legacy players,
like but they
Bo
just
Jackson.
haven't had a huge offensive star in the last few years. I mean, Devontae Adams, he has so much stuff as a Packer. It's just the Raiders stuff doesn't move. So
Josh Jacobs was somebody, and then he gets released and he's gone. So I think that sometimes when you look at some of the legacy players, they're constantly going to be attached to that. It's will Green Bay Packers stuff sell here? Will Steelers? It does. So it's just interesting because as people move around the country, they stay true to their teams. And when you see people with legacy teams, it's like, yeah, I'm still going to continue to buy. I remember growing up as Whitey spent hours at our shop a few weeks back, and he talked about he was flipping through stuff in the 1970s, and you were like, I remember this and I remember that.
Yeah,
the
my mom bought me a whole box of these. Yeah.
The nostalgia of it was what brings people back. So I would say that, and then I would tell you that if you're a early baby boomer or a late Gen Xer, right now is your time in the collecting world because you have that additional income that you may not have had when you were in your early 20s. So I remember I wanted that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, and now I can attain it. So they're going back to their nostalgia and following their guys that they loved. I grew up in the 80s. I played Tecmo Bowl. You know who was the best player on Tecmo Bowl?
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. So when everybody wants a Bo Jackson autograph something or a Bo Jackson card because it reminds them of their 12-year-old self. And that's what we love about what we do is we actually have a career. Shep and I have a career. We make a living, and a decent one at that, to be able to share these memories with people as they look back to their childhood.
It is an investment, and it's funny, investments, there's risk. As you were talking about the Griffey rookie card, I remember at one point I had this choice years ago. It's like, here's a King Griffey Upper Deck rookie card. I get that. Or for about the same amount, I can get the entire 1986 Topps Traded, which has Bo Jackson, Jose Canseco, Will Clark, Barry Bonds. I'm like, I'm getting that. I still have it. I made the wrong move.
No, you didn't, because the way that you just explained it showed your excitement of you getting it, right?
So that was how excited I was then.
How do you feel now? How do you feel now?
Yeah, I made the wrong move.
No, yeah, and all the other guys too is a transcendent player. So if you have an ultimate superstar, those guys do well. Like right now, especially when they're rookies and they blow up and have great seasons, that's when you everybody's all over CJ Stroud right now. That we can't keep him in the shop.
Wow.
Victor Wembanyama the same. And these guys don't even have licensed to autograph products, but they're just buying either jersey cards or they're buying base cards or numbered cards that are colored parallels. They fly out of the shop all the time because everybody wants that opportunity, like Griffey's rookie, to be able to say, hey, I had this his rookie year when he was coming up, and I knew from the beginning he was going to be a star, and here's my proof that I was cool. Like it's having that band t-shirt before the band's cool.
Right.
And then you get rid of it once they make big time because you're like, oh, wait, I knew when they were just playing in the garages. So it's that chase.
You know who is my guy that I did that to? Jason Mraz. Do you remember Jason Mraz?
Yeah.
The singer?
Yeah.
I remember seeing him playing in a corner coffee shop. It's called Cane's in San Diego. And I bought his little burn CD because there was like 5 people in there and he's sitting there playing his songs and everything. And I was like, I remember when Jason Mraz was back in, that was my harken back moment.
I asked Shep at your store, the baseball player that he thought was going to hit big, and Manny Margot, right?
I thought he was going to be huge. And
who?
Yeah.
And he's a good player.
He's just an outfielder now, but I thought he was going to be
Who
big.
is?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So, you hit and miss, and that's part of it. You take your chances on stuff. And
I almost invested heavily in Josh Giddey, and I didn't. I didn't, and I'm glad I did.
Got money to burn. Don't worry about it.
How do I mute my mic? How do I mute my mic?
And that's
What's the segment in?
That's the problem sometimes with collecting is you get really excited by a guy and they do something off the field that is, criminal or not well received, or they say the wrong thing, and it can hurt their value. And that's why I like the vintage cards, because a lot of these guys aren't with us anymore, and it's not much they can do to
whatever they did. We're not going to find out now.
Mickey Mantle is not going to tear his ACL tonight.
Yeah,
right?
and so that's again why it's fun, and it harkens back to when my dad collected, and He's not with us, but I get to look back at those cards and see, like, hey, these are the guys he followed. It's cool to go back and see that history of the game as well. And again, that's another huge thing that we have people coming in for is vintage. They're now like, hey, we don't see the wild changes in the pricing with these guys, and it's very stable, and it's that old blue chip stock type thing I talk about. So, it's interesting to see that people want the newest stuff and they want old stuff that was in someone's closet for 50 years and now saw the light of day, and they want to start collecting that.
Whitey, it's a lot like us. We're right in the middle. Either they want new stuff or old stuff, and Shep and I are in the middle, and we're the undesirable middle-aged. We're the undesirable middle. Thank God we're both married.
Yeah.
Not to each other, but to two women who have eyesight problems.
Yes, Imran Pilati and Tim Scheffler.
Yeah, fellas.
From True Sports Cards.
Absolute True Sports Card. And the True Sports Card Sports Expo comes up this month. Now we're finally in May 17th,
2 weeks from
18th,
today.
19th.
Woo.
Absolutely. Shall be in attendance. Something that I'm keeping my eye on. And, I'm a novice. I'm not a card guy. I'm not a collector. I like collecting
jerseys.
I do. But that's all for me, personal. I like to have my friends do those type of things for me. My question to you guys
Is that
are:
why you were bugging me about the J. Will jerseys?
J. Will's for family, for
we're
friends.
We
for
are
friends.
friends because that if the barometer is I ask my friends for jerseys, then we are best friends, my friend.
There it is.
You and I.
There it is.
We might as well get a bunk bed together. This guy bugs me all the time. All right, you had a question.
Yeah, question is, and I mean, common sense, I know what an inscription means, but when I look at an inscription and paying for it, what does that technically mean when I come to the Sports Card Show Expo and ask for one of these fantastic celebrities that you got come popping up and offer an inscription? What does that mean? And it says like 4 words. So what you gonna say? Hi, bye, and thank you? Like, what am I getting?
Yeah, but if you put a comma in between those that's extra.
Okay. No semicolons.
No semicolons. Can you just write hello, how you doing as one word? Okay. An inscription is the ability to write something that may be specific to that player and their notoriety. Michael Cooper is coming on Sunday the 19th. He's going to be signing autographs, and the unique inscription for him will be HOF, Hall of Fame.
Right, going in the
2024.
Yep.
So
that's more than 4 words, though.
HOF.
Yep, 2-4. That's 5 letters.
From Stockton.
This is fun to watch him.
I can't count it with my fingers.
Analytics. Yes.
Analytics. So what every other Michael Cooper autograph that's ever been done prior to May 19th has never had HOF 2024.
Okay.
So this is going to be a unique scenario to where this will uplift the value of any product that he's signing because it's a unique scenario. How about something that is an attachment to somebody? Do you remember who Scott Norwood is?
Of course.
Yeah. Wide right.
Wide right.
Come on now, Buffalo Bill.
Wide left, wide right.
Wide right.
Wide right. He had all kinds of actual mental health issues about the scenario. And then he embraced it, and now he will add the inscription wide right on autographs, particularly ones of the ball sailing to the right of a kick. He took a negative and turned it into a financially positive for him. So take a look at Joe Montana. If you want him to write, I left my heart in San Francisco, he's going to charge you a G, a rack on top of the actual autograph.
Yeah,
so these guys are looking at it to say, how many more dollars can I get from this if I have unique scenarios to where I can add to a product underneath my name that allows the buyer of the product to have something unique and different? And 2, how do I collect more chips on my plate?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. And I asked you about this at your store a little bit. And I apologize if you're listening. I have some pictures here. My father, long story short, my father's uncle pitched in the major leagues. And I believe, I didn't know this, that my father had this till after he passed away. One of my brothers said, hey, look at this. And it's a collection of autographs from, we think, 1939, baseball, team after team. And I just want to show you these autographs. I took this 2017 Antiques Roadshow was in town, and I took this to them.
One of my favorite shows.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm going on the show with this. It's just a matter of, how much it's worth. And this woman looked at it and she said, oh, that's great. And I told her the story. She's like, oh, you have the Provenance, whatever they call it.
Provenance.
Yeah. She says, it's worth $1,000 to $1,500. And I was stunned because I thought it was worth way more than that. So what do you guys think of this? This is here. This is Honus Wagner's autograph right there.
Wow.
Right. Okay. That's Jimmy Fox right there. There's a bunch of Boston players. Ted Williams is on there somewhere. Lefty Grove. No, I guess Ted Williams is on here. Joe DiMaggio, Bill Dickey. And that's just a few of them on this whole page.
Wait, what's your question?
Is this worth more than $1,500 is my question.
The paper itself looks old.
It is.
It looks like a folded up, crusty envelope.
Uh-huh.
It makes sense as to why an autograph guy would be chasing these down. And the only thing that we would do is get it authenticated by a third party, a reputable one like James Spence Authentication.
Uh-huh.
The authentication will run you somewhere between $250 to $500.
Uh-huh.
And if that all came back, that would be in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Time to sell it, brother.
Yeah. Seriously?
Yes. Easily.
That again, if it's authentic, and I have every reason to think it is, but it's not authenticated. So
yeah. My favorite is when somebody comes to us and says, dude, this is a real Babe Ruth. Real Babe Ruth signature. It's dirty. Right. It looks it. And I go, I could tell you for a fact that it's not. No, how do you know? My grandpa, blah, 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 right? And I go, well, let's turn the ball around. The commissioner is Bud Selig. Yeah, I'm probably going to guess that Babe Ruth didn't sign the Bud Selig commissioner ball.
Right.
There's some times where we can pretty much know that this ain't the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
let me follow up on that, fellas, because this is something that I have a on the outside looking in type question. When I was growing up, and I think we've had this conversation on this show, you know, the Beckett was kind of the go-to when it came to baseball cards, and maybe other cards, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure.
His son's name.
Dope it. I know.
I know my kid after that. Yeah.
With that being said, who's setting the market on some of these products? Who's setting the price on some of these cards? Like who's the go-to or the expert? Is it just you get what you know? One of the things I was always told, you are worth what a person will pay you.
True.
But like, who's the person setting the parameters on how much this stuff costs?
No, if it was my choice, it'd be me personally across the world.
That part.
But apparently there's a thing called eBay that allows people to buy and sell and trade with receipts. And that's really what it comes down to. It used to be the Beckett, and the Beckett team would go out to the world and talk to card shops and talk to people at card shows and say, what did you pay for this? And they gathered all this data, almost like Nielsen ratings.
Analytics.
Okay. So we talk about Nielsen ratings, or we talk about the listener radio ratings. We know that they can't be as accurate as possible because they're not polling everybody.
And be careful because you're not actually supposed to talk about them at all, but it's okay.
I apologize.
But no problem. No, you're good.
We'll go ahead and edit this out. There's a dump button for a reason. What do you say? Never mind. But I will tell you that everybody is polled in a sales receipt scenario in eBay, right? So every sale is tracked. Every amount and dollar is tracked. You don't have to pull and ask people and get an aggregate and go, I think it's going to go for this. We can actually see the actual numbers, and that's really what creates that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple other sites too that'll pull all that data from other, like besides eBay, it'll pull eBay sites, auction house websites, those posted sales, and then you can get a really accurate idea, very close to what people are currently paying for that. And you know, we use those comps all the time to help price us out, and they go up, they go down. And it's just part of it. It can change hourly, depending if someone hits a home run to win a game or miss a shot. Yeah. So send them home.
Jalen Brunson up from last night. Damian Lillard down from last night. Just imagine it similar to my background in real estate. There's an MLS that shows a sale of a house, and a like house in the same neighborhood would go for about that. That's where we're going to list our house today. It's exactly the same thing. It's the commodity that we can actually see.
Here's one of the things that's cool about you, Imran. Of course, we could go on and on about that.
We can.
But I was in the store. I've been to other stores.
I'm going to hit traffic on the way home. We'll stay here all night if you want.
I've taken cards to shops and, hey, would you be interested in this? And hold on, let me check the book. And they go and they're checking stuff, which I understand. But I've seen you do this with people. They bring stuff and you go, all right, what are you looking for? What do you want for it? How about this? You want to do that or not? So it's a more personable way that and maybe it depends on what the thing is, but I observed that when I was at your store, and I just thought that'd be a much cooler way to exchange cards with someone rather than someone going, well, let me check the book. I don't know.
If you're supposed to be an expert and you have a show on the radio and you're claimed as an industry expert and you have to look up every card, you ain't an expert.
There
right?
You go.
So for me, I can, and my team is very similar, if not better than me. Shep is, he used to be on.
Where'd you find a pro like this?
Did you know that he was on Stump the Schwab?
No, I didn't.
He was on the show.
Yeah.
He was on
Rest
the show.
Rest in peace to the Schwabby.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, rest in peace to the Schwabby. Yeah, that's right. Shep was on that show.
Oh boy, Shep.
failed miserably,
Right.
but that's not the point. The point is that he was actually there. So we are experts in knowing what we're talking about. So if I have to look up every card, it's only because I'm not an expert. So I generally know what a card goes for. That I'm in the industry. This is what I do. But if there's something shiny and new and it just came out, of course, I'm going to have to take a look. And then I also want to know if there's a volatile card, I want to be able to check on that. So generally I'll know. But if you walk into our shop with a 1986 Jose Canseco, I do not need to look it up. I know it is $12. Okay. If you walk in with a 1987 Barry Bonds Topps card, I know it's $3. Like I know it because I know it. So when somebody goes, I want $15 and the card's $3, I go, you know, it's been a pleasure talking with you. It's just not for us.
Yeah.
I don't go, hey, well, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? I don't do that, but I also want to help educate them because they could go to any shop in the world and they chose to come to ours. So treating them with dignity and respect. Could you imagine if you walked in and you said, I don't know what this stamp is because I don't know stamps. And I walk into a stamp store and they go, well, how much do you want for it? And I go, I have no clue. And they go, you don't know what the stamp is?
Yeah.
I would feel so stupid. And I just put myself in the shoes. And I just talked about it when we did our show a couple of weeks ago. There's the platinum rule and the golden rule. Golden rule is treat people how they want to be treated, how you want to be treated. Platinum is how they want to be treated. And people just want to be respected. So when you come in True Sports Cards or you interact with us in a show format or you come to the expo, you're going to be treated with respect because that's how people should be treated. And we're to be inclusive into the hobby, not push people away.
Who's going to be at the expo?
Tons of we have Frank Thomas.
Thomas.
Yes. Randy Johnson. Ricky Henderson. Dennis Rodman. Johnny Manziel. Dave Stewart. Malik Monk.
I have Dennis Rodman's rookie card. You think he would sign it?
Yes.
For a price. Everybody's got a price, Whitey.
Yeah. Don't you remember the $1 Million Man from Ted
We tried to
DiBiase?
get Jay, but the number was too high. We couldn't come to terms.
Listen,
Still negotiating.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay. How many Jay Will jerseys do I need to give this guy for him to show up?
None. 0.
Yeah.
I'll be there in attendance.
Oh, I know that. I can't wait. And we're talking about you guys streaming from that on that Friday if possible. So
okay.
might have you there.
Yeah. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's less traffic up in the Roseville area, I promise. Less traffic.
Shep, it's good to see you.
Very good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where did you find a pro like this guy?
Just hanging out.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
I'll give you the short version because I know we're probably up against a break, but I'm sitting there at a card show. I'm a dealer, and I hear this voice from down the aisleway. And I go, I've heard this voice before. And he's talking like this, and he's talking about, hey, guys, I'll tell you about cards, right? I go, where have I heard this voice before?
Man, that's coach.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, my name's Big Shep, and I'm here, and I'm gonna make sure that you know about cards.
Like a
you guys like
cartoon
cards?
character.
Yeah, really. And mind you, his nickname's Big Shep, and he was a lot bigger than
I was
he
about
was.
350.
350. He's down.
Yeah?
He's a slimmer 100. He's lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Worked
That's
out
dope,
great.
brother.
Yeah. Shout out to Shep. So
Seriously.
he's now medium Shep. But when it comes down to it, I was like, where do I hear this guy from? I'd been listening to a podcast called All About the Cards for 3 years. And this guy was the host of the podcast. And I was like, are you on a podcast? And he's like, yeah. I go,
No, he's like, yeah.
oh, well, you better believe I am.
Do you want my autograph? It's $15.
So
An inscription, 4 words.
And I already knew that he knew his stuff. And I was like, do you like cards? And he's like, yes. And I was like, I'm opening a card shop. Would you love to be a part of this? So it was just a match made in heaven.
Yep.
Great. Well, good to see you guys. Thanks
Great
for
to have
stopping by. I know you're in the studios doing stuff, so we appreciate it. If we don't see you before, we'll see you up there for the day before. We're going to be there, right? For the
Yeah.
expo?
Well, no, the day
17th, Friday.
Friday 17th, we open at 3
Opening day.
o'clock. Kevin
Mitchell in the
he'll be
building,
there.
baby.
So we'll make sure that Kevin spends some time with you guys.
Yeah.
You're there.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank
Have
Do
a
I
good
got the
weekend.
Kevin Mitchell jersey coming so I
here
can
we
pay
go.
for the
Here we
here we
go.
go.
Here we
I
go.
just want to pay for the autograph now, the inscription, $20.
Best friends, baby. The barehanded catch.
Some silly talk on who the next coach of the Lakers could be. Some say it's not so silly. It's coming up with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for our you. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go.
I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet Arch Supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet Arch Supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
Guys, are you ready to give up because you think you've tried everything and you're still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento has local medical providers that offer low T and ED treatments customized to each patient's unique physical makeup. By working with a specialized compounding lab, personalized treatments are guaranteed, even when generic pills and supplements haven't worked. It all starts with your free comprehensive exam and consultation. Availability is limited. Book today, and for this month only, Revive offers qualified patients a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. The experts at Revive Men's Health Sacramento will work to provide the right treatment for you so you can show up as the best you in all aspects of your life. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or send them a private message at revivemenshealth.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, taking HTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Special guest joining us here, Drive Guys. You know, we've been conducting our season end interviews, our end of the season exit interviews with some of the outstanding members of the Sacramento Kings media. And I don't know that anybody works harder at it than our next guest, who used to work here. I've known him forever. He used to work here. I think he was a producer in the afternoons. And you know him from his work on podcast, Kings Pulse podcast, and also, of course, Fox 40. Sean Cunningham. How are you, Sean? Sean, my boy, how are you?
My boy, Whitey J. Good to see you guys. How are you enjoying the early off season so far?
Yeah. You know, Sean, it's funny because that first, Friday they lose to the Pelicans, and then Saturday morning, the playoffs are today. I'm not watching any playoffs. And that lasted until I think the Nuggets and Lakers were on that night. Then I watched, but all day long, it's like, I'm not watching any playoffs. So it took me a while, a couple hours to warm up to the playoffs after the bitter disappointment of another loss to the Pelicans.
Oh, for sure. And I love when, I hear from, previous people of power, bosses, what have you, no matter what job you're in, and they go, Sacramento, it's not really a sports town or whatever. And then you look at like ratings of not only NBA, but NFL and UFC and things like that. And it's always just in the top 5 always. So we're starved for sports out here. So yeah, even though the Sacramento Kings may not be in it, it's still an NBA market. They're going to roll with the punches and see how the West shape takes fold. And because this Western Conference this year was just a monster.
Sean, do you think there's a big name out there that realistically the Kings would have a shot at? Perhaps not. I don't mean to ask you a leading question, but do you think there are any names or a name out there that they could pursue legitimately if they wanted?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe not necessarily in free agency, but I think everyone realizes, if you're a Kings fan or if you've been in this market long enough, that this organization typically makes its biggest splash when it comes to trades. And I don't know that many people were thinking that Domantas Sabonis was going to be a trade candidate or even possibility for Sacramento when it happened. I think so much of the conversation was centered around the likes of Ben Simmons and things of that nature. And that went on to seem like for a year. And then if you even rewind further back, the Peja Stojakovic, Ron Artest trade that seemed to be bannered about for about 2 years, greater part of 2 years before it happened. So yeah, I think, especially when you come off a season the way the Western Conference was, and everyone realizing how they're going to have to be aggressive, and 48, 50 wins may not be what you thought it would be a year ago, or maybe what you thought it would even be this season. It's clearly when a team like the Kings finishes down there in 9th. So yeah, I do think, every year presents opportunity, and all you have to do is just be aggressive. And the fact that they've got essentially all their draft picks still just sitting there to as draft capital, and really to be unloaded if they choose to do so for the right opportunity.
So you got to give us a name or two, brother. I know we're speculating.
Put the pressure on.
Yeah, you got to give us a name or two.
Yeah, I think one name that I think just in the early going that I've kind of identified, there's certain situations, right? So like, you look at the success that the Timberwolves have had, and all of a sudden you've got the likes of Anthony Edwards, who's going to be a max player. You've got 2 guys who are making over $100 million. Like, how far into the luxury tax and apron are they willing to go? And I think what teams who have success in this league, what they have to wrap their head around is the fact that if you want to play ball and you want to be a contending team, well, then you're going to be in that luxury tax. You're going to be in those aprons, and it's going to, cost you a ton of money to compete. And certainly I think Oklahoma City is one of those teams where it's shown that That may not be the case for them because they're only really paying one star a max contract at the moment, but certainly a few years from now that'll change, and they've got a whole lot of draft equity in the way they've built their team. So they're a younger team competing, finishing first in the West. But I identify Minnesota. It's like, what are they going to do with Karl Anthony Towns? How deep are they going to go? I'm not even a Karl Anthony Towns fan, to be honest with you. But if you look at New Orleans, certainly how they've built, everyone follows that Denver model, and it's the teams that have given the Kings absolute fits, size, athleticism, length, and the Kings are desperate for a player of all three of those categories. And you look at the likes of Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, and certainly Trey Murphy's not going anywhere. Herb Jones has got a relatively, great contract. But what happens to Brandon Ingram? What happens with Zion Williamson? I mean, I think it's too soon to even kind of entertain parting ways with him. But I think New Orleans is one of those teams that makes some sense for the Kings to chase after someone. And then, I know a lot of people would love to see the Kings go after someone like Mikal Bridges, just the ultimate team friendly contract for a star in the making or still on the rise. And if I'm Brooklyn, I'm looking at that going, why the hell would I get rid of Mikal Bridges and try to,
I know.
It's just so, but there's another guy named Miles Bridges, which if you take the off the court stuff aside, I think he still looks as this diamond in the rough, so to speak. So I don't know. I to give you a name would be tough because
you gave us a couple.
I think
That's fair.
Yeah. I think even we didn't even talk about Jimmy Butler. My God. I mean, a guy who's a little older, but certainly you can see where he would fit on this team, who just averaged 25 and 5 and is still a absolute beast defensively. And even though he's older, he's got a to him. I think he still has $100 million over the next 2 years. So yeah,
Jay is really excited about the possibility of Lou Dort. I think.
Hey,
big Lou Dort guy.
But a tremendous defender. But where's he?
Yeah.
Why would they let him go?
I know. We're just kidding because every time every 5 minutes today, Lou Dort's he's talking about like Lou Dort. So I'm kidding, but Jay's been talking about Lou Dort.
I have no idea why Lou Dort has popped up on this show like 10 times today. Joined by one of the best to do it, not only local but of course nationally. I always say Sean Cunningham, Fox 40. Sean, I think when we look back at this year, Keegan took a lot of steps forward. I would imagine some people, if not looking at the games and just looking at the box score, what we absolutely despise here on the Drive Guys. But I thought he was asked to do a lot more defensively than he was offensively. But with that being said, do you see him maybe taking the necessary step in the third year to being the guy that the Kings probably need him to be, or do you think they're going to continue to ask him to be a two-way guy?
Yeah, I think they're going to continue to ask him to be a two-way guy for sure, and I think that's a good thing. I think being that two-way player, being able to guard the likes of the Steph Currys of the world and three positions at times bodes well for his development, and that's one of the reasons why looking at the 50,000 foot view of this team, it's like you're asked whether it's a failure or not, and it's certainly they'll all use the word disappointment, but when you see a guy like Keegan Murray who takes that type of step forward, and yeah, the 3-point shooting may have dipped a little bit, but his scoring was still up, got to the free throw line a little bit more. There are certainly things that leap off the page for someone like his development, and you compare him to other players that have really taken steps forward. And for some reason, Chris Middleton is always that guy that people like to compare him to, and watching that growth. And it took Chris Middleton a little while, and I think he's well ahead of that. I mean, a guy who just finished with 15 points a game, and like I said, maybe take those steps defensively, and a guy who didn't really ever have to play that way in college or high school. So knowing that people were talking about, like, you look at I said last year, if Keegan Murray could really just duplicate what he did in his rookie season, people would be through the moon. I mean, it may not be the step that they want him to take, but year 3 is really in the NBA where a player tends to make the biggest impact in terms of when you look back at his career. That third year was the year where you said, all right, this is what that player looks to be for the remainder of his career. And that's where he really starts to kind of chip away at what the things he can be. So that's why, people who try to analyze a draft and give them a draft grade after 1 or 2 years, it's really tough. I get it, but I think the criteria is just different. So if he can continue on this path, I think there's people that want to see him be a 20-point scorer, and I certainly think he can be part just on him. I mean, people I talk to all the time, it's like they're looking at Keegan Murray and ultimate teammate, nice guy, but you got to go and get it. And you got to look at some of the guys on your team and say, no, I'm taking this opportunity. And I'll take a step further, Jay, even on the offensive end, the way he found opportunity can really even later in the season doing with some injuries, but kind of going ISO, kind of attacking the paint a little bit, even finding a mid-range. Those are things that just make you go, oh, this is great. Especially with the way they move the ball. Scoring opportunity aplenty will be great for him. And if he can do it on the both ways, everyone's looking for those types of players.
Sean Cunningham with us. And it's really interesting to me what you said about Minnesota. And obviously, you know what you're talking about. So that's no surprise there that you bring them up. But as you know, you got a situation here with Mark Lore and A-Rod, and they may be buying the team from Glenn Taylor. There's some dispute there, but they've already declared that if they get the team, they're going to lower the payroll. So that's why you think, well, they would have to let somebody go. So yeah, the Karl Anthony Towns stuff, makes more sense than some of just the idle speculation. All that said, Sean, in your opinion, if Malik goes, does that put more pressure on the Kings to then go out and bring in one of the bigger names, in your opinion?
Yeah, damn right it does. And I think, I think it's definitely a possibility. And it's something that the Kings, fortunately for them, have had really over a year to kind of navigate those waters. And I think fans and this team alike was a little bit of a blessing in a way to kind of see what this team looks like as currently constructed without both Malik and Kevin. I don't know if they wanted to see it at the same time, but particularly Malik, who I always sound like a broken record because I say he's the most important player on this team because of the identity he gives them, the way people feed off of him. Certainly, you know what you're going to get from Fox and Sabonis every night. But when Malik is on, this team looks like a world beater at times. And when he turns the ball over, or it doesn't even matter what's scoring to me. I think it's all playmaking and kind of the swag that he brings to that team, and they just absolutely feed off it. And if he's turning the ball over and doesn't have that, they go the other way. And particularly when he's not playing, I think there was no bigger argument for his 6 Man of the Year candidacy than when he was hurt and watching his team kind of flounder. So, I think they've had the opportunity to not only see what it looks like, but navigate those waters if in the event Malik leaves, and certainly do some, hints and shoulder bumps, and maybe treat somebody a little bit nicer to dinner than you would have normally, whatever it takes to try to keep him and his camp happy, because they know they're going to be competing with some beasts out there that have cap room, and you've got handlebars. I used to, when I worked in the mortgage industry, you always called it prepayment penalty. You had handlebars. You couldn't go do anything, and that's what the Kings are right now.
Yeah. Sean, looking at, and you touched on Kevin Huerter a little bit, just mentioning his name, and Malik Monk, who obviously he's said numerous times, and of course you're there every single time, that he wants to start. If Malik comes back and Kevin Huerter is back, and now we've seen Keon Ellis take a step, and I'm not sure if he's a starting two guard, but who starts for this team in your eye, knowing what you've seen this past year and moving forward to next year? Let's just say all three of those guys come back.
Yeah, I mean, I could envision worlds and situations depending upon what this roster looks like, where each of them have opportunity to start. But I think that's what the coolest thing about Malik is like, in talking to him over the 2 years he's been here, he's always had a desire to start. It's not like this. I know people heard that press conference and he'll say like, yeah, I want to start. And it's like, oh, see there, that's just a checklist on the list for him to go out and find the right opportunity for him. But he realizes like he'll do whatever the team needs for him, as long as he's playing starter minutes is always the kind of the biggest thing, and closing games, that'll be the biggest thing. But yeah, I mean, starting's important. I think especially probably more so, I think Malik realizes this too with someone like Kevin Huerter, where Kevin Huerter getting out to an early good start only benefits the team in just the most, positive way. Whereas Malik can come in and turn it on in a minute, be that microwave and get going, and also have that impact as a playmaker as well. So I think he realizes it. And I think, him also saying in the same breath, I'll do whatever my team needs me to do, but yeah, I'd like to start. That's been the same since when he landed in Sacramento too. So I don't know how much that'll play a role. Certainly if he's I don't know that Malik is, I think payday first and foremost is going to be the biggest factor for him in security and in longevity, because he's a guy who he'll he knows his past just like everyone else. He believes he was out of this league just not that long ago. And for him to have that security, have a team that wants him, and being able to flourish in that system, whether, wins and losses are there, I think that's great. But he can look at a situation of a team on the rise or a team that's not as good as Sacramento and feel that he could be a part of turning that around. So it sounds like I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth, but that's what Malik does. He wants to start, but ultimately wants to be in Sacramento. And if someone had asked me a while back, they're like, well, what if they just said, hey, you're going to start now, and here's what we can do. I just don't think they need to do that. I think Malik would recognize doing what's best for the team is going to help them the most. And I don't know that Malik would agree that having him start would be what's best for the team, at least to the way the team's constituted. Now, if you have a crystal ball and tell me who's on that team next year, I guess we can see, but I can certainly see it.
We might have a crystal ball. Dave has all kinds of garbage back here.
Yeah. I don't know if it works.
So, yeah. What's your sense? Yeah, Girth Brooks, as we call Dave these days. What's your sense of how soon the Kings get the Mike Brown situation resolved?
The Mike Brown situation, is that what you said? It kind of broke up a bit.
Yes, yeah, Mike Brown. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I think it has, whether it does or it doesn't, you have to get to an understanding quick. And I said this kind of coming out of the press conference, which is, if you already know that he's not your guy, you got to let him go. And not that I think that they would do that, but Mike Brown going into a season next year as a lame duck would be really.
There's no upside, right? There's just no reason to do it.
Well, Whitey and Jay, you guys both know this, man. Like, if you think of NBA players, and there's agents everywhere, right? When it comes to coaches, you've got like three dudes basically represent all the league's coaches. And how do you tell those agents who all have clients that you'd be interested in possibility going forward, like that? For all Mike Brown hasn't changed. Mike Brown was coach of the year last year. Yeah, they missed the playoffs here, but picking up getting extension, picking up whatever it is, getting to some sort of agreement to where he goes into next season not as a lame duck head coach, that just is the smart business sense to do, even if you end up firing the guy. Like, clearly this team, one of the things I give this organization credit is when they know the time has come, they make the move. And you can criticize those moves, right or wrong. Obviously the Michael Malone thing has been dissected so many times, but they've had a history of paying coaches not to coach. So I think they'll do the right thing. I think they'll do right by Mike Brown. And I mean, if you're talking continuity, well, he's absolutely a part of that. So certainly you can sit there and have people who might be critical of the way they played last year, slipped a little bit offensively in terms of pace and offensive efficiency. But at the end of the year, you also did what I think everyone was hoping you do, and that's become a better defensive team. Now, it came at maybe the detriment of making the playoffs, but you're only 2 wins different in the wins-loss column than you were a year ago. So there is continuity all over the board. There's improvement all over the board. And yeah, it didn't result in the postseason, but you got to see what year 3 looks like. And I don't think he can do that comfortably going in as a lame duck head coach without having some guarantees there.
Joined by Sean Cunningham, Mr. 40 himself. Sean, before we get out of here, we got to talk Kendrick Lamar, Drake real fast, because even Whitey has been. Even him and Jerry Blevins have asked about what's going on. When you have Whitey and Jerry Blevins asking me what's going on between K-Dot and Drake, we have a conversation.
It's no fight. It's a total mismatch. I mean, no, Drake is right. I mean,
spin it. What you got?
Kendrick destroyed him.
He did.
Did he not? You eviscerated him. It's not even a contest. I don't know. You tell me. Am I right?
Kind of.
100%. 100%. Kind of, Jay.
Well,
Jay.
I'll say this. Well, no, you're the guest. I'll let you speak.
No, I want you. Trust me. We are on a group text where we talk about this all the time. So Jay has insider trading knowledge here of some of my thoughts. He knows I'm also not the biggest Drake fan, but I will say,
neither am I. Yeah.
Boy, I mean, you're talking about a guy. I mean, in Kendrick Lamar, you talk about 2 totally different upbringings and backgrounds, and that's the guy you want to go at. Like Drake, who is this, Canadian, great social health care. You've got TV shows, and you look at Kendrick Lamar, you're looking at him, and it's like, no, you're literally the living embodiment of what South Central and Compton look like and act like and everything like that. And so for him to call Kendrick Lamar pop when Drake is literally brought hip hop music into the pop hemisphere is just insane to me. You're going to pick at a guy's height, but you're going to champion Lil Wayne and Big Sean. That's wild to me. And then to have a guy like Kendrick Lamar get featured verses with like the likes of Maroon 5 and all the Taylor Swift,
right?
And then have You're Gonna Champion Travis Scott and SZA, both who have collaborated with Maroon 5. In fact, Travis Scott was at Maroon 5's Super Bowl in Atlanta in the Super Bowl performance. So just these wild inconsistencies. And it's like, okay, all you're saying is, yeah, you make money. Sure. You're the Taylor Swift of your male dominated field. And there's room for both of you. And I just love that Kendrick Lamar woke up this morning and said, and another thing upon with another
bright and early.
Just so great. I'm here for it. And I just like that everyone's kind of looking at Drake a little sideways. It just kind of makes me smile.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's and to be honest, like I hadn't woken up to even wake my daughter up for school yet. And I wake up and I look over and the wife is like, Kendrick dropped again. I'm like, what? He, as Cat Williams said in his comedian, he's mad at breakfast, like he's mad at bacon. He's that mad already this early in the morning. I'm here, as Sean said, I'm here for all of it. And I'm, we West Coast. That's where we from. Vallejo in the house. Yeah. This is what we do. And I'm glad he's about it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, but I feel like, maybe we'll see what happened. Everyone remembers Nas and Jay-Z Ether. And when Nas came out with Ether, like there was they were able to make up, and I think it was Jay that kind of approached him. They were good again, and then they toured together. So
yes,
he didn't really take it off his playlist, and it's still on his essentials, but Ether's wild if you haven't heard it.
Yeah.
And just so you know, and this is not quite to that level, but I'm thinking of dropping a diss track called Carmichael Dave Foria.
Ooh.
So, it could be coming.
I could talk to you about girth.
Yeah. Sean, thank you very, very, very much. We appreciate it. Miss hanging out with you at the arena. But I know we'll see you soon, and I hope you have a great weekend.
You too, guys. Anytime.
Salute, my man.
Yeah. There we are. The one and only Sean Cunningham. How about that?
And let me say this, man. And I say this all the time about Sean. Sean is I credit myself for being throughout Sacramento at a lot of different places. Spend a lot of times I see Sean at different places, and from afar, sometimes he's working. You just step out of the way. I'm the type of person that gets in and out, Whitey. I'm 15, 20 minutes, shake some hands, kiss some babies, much love, support. You support your people in your community. Sean is the type of person that goes and he's actually doing the work. He's setting up the cameras. While I'm there hanging out, he's putting in the work and he's showing that. Mm-hmm. And he's better in our community. He's presenting our community and packaging our community, not only from a sports eye, but he's also including our community. I mean, he's been doing that for many years, as you alluded to. When I first interned here, Sean was moving and grooving here in Sacramento. When you're legendary. You're legendary, but Sean in his own right, man.
Yes.
He's pushing the narrative in Sacramento. We might have to put him in the Sports Hall of Fame soon.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of what I was saying to you a couple days ago about Brunson. Brunson is like, he plays so hard. He's better. He doesn't have to play that hard.
Truth.
He's good enough where he doesn't have to, but he does. And Sean's the same. Sean doesn't have to work that hard. He's, he's earned the right not to, and he's good enough where you don't have to work that hard, but that's just his way.
Yeah, that's true, man. No, seriously. Solid, man. And I one of the things I've said over the last year, when you look at a show that Noriega's Blank Champs, the type of situation, it's a podcast, huge thing that's on Revolt Network. And one of the things he always talks about is giving people their flowers. That's the narrative that we're painting these days. And him and his co-host, they actually bring out like a humidor type box, with flowers in them. And it's like a plaque type situation. But I'm all about that. It's about giving people their flowers. We're not here forever, and so when you have an opportunity to do it, like I tell you all the time, I talk about Jerry Reynolds. We just had the G-Man. Those things make differences in our community. Mm-hmm. I'm City of Trees through and through. So when you have people that's legendary and you have great folks that do what they're supposed to do and do what they do and add, elements to this city, I give them love, man. So salute Sean, bro. Real, seriously.
Absolutely. We appreciate his time. Thank you for being with us. Don't go away. When we come back, the next coach of the Lakers will be JJ Redick. Next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader. Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hello, I'm Frank Ock with the Retirement Security Centers with the Weekly Economic Update. The Federal Reserve did as many expected and held interest rates steady for now. Markets are now pricing in only one rate cut in 2024. While wage growth has still outpaced inflation, real growth has only been approximately 0.6%. With rates staying steady, what can consumers do to lessen the burden? They'll have to be proactive versus waiting for automatic decreases. Shopping for lower credit card interest rates or attempting to obtain a lower rate personal loan may be an option for some. Taking the plunge on home ownership now versus waiting with an eye towards refinancing if rates improve at a later date could fit for others. While student loans usually have fixed rates, newer loans are being taken out these higher rates, so payment relief may have to wait until rates reach reduced, and refinancing is an option. Savings rates remain higher, with some high-yield savings paying 5.5%, currently outpacing inflation. So the news isn't all bad. Americans may just have to get used to higher rates for the time being and adjust to the now while keeping a watchful eye on the future. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer and member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear through the evening hours. A nice mild evening tonight, but tomorrow completely different. We'll have rain that will develop tomorrow morning and last into the mid-afternoon. Look for highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Made today when Darvin Ham became the first coach ever to be fired right after he'd won the in-season tournament. Can you believe it? What does it mean for the Lakers going forward and for the Kings? We'll get to that here with the Drive Guys today. Kyle Draper has a day off. Got Jay getting ready to celebrate his birthday tomorrow, and Whitey Gleason. Let's get to the phones here before we do anything else. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's time for Check It on a Friday with TC. What's up, TC?
Mic check. What's up with my guys, man? First and foremost, what's going on?
You got to wish Jay a happy birthday. Tomorrow's his birthday.
Hey, my bad, Jay. I should have told you that from the jump.
Oh, no worries.
Bro. My bad, dog.
Man, I appreciate
you know
the
Hey, Whitey.
Yeah.
My bad. Hey, my bad the other day, man, when I went blank, man. I had so much on my mind,
That's
bro.
all right.
I went blank, man, on the air.
No, that's
check
good.
it out, though. Listen, man. There's a couple moves, man, that I want. Like, seriously, bro, it's guys that we can get in here. I don't know if we can swing a trade for Bobby Portis, but that's a name that we should look at. But the names that's grabbable, seriously, bro, go get Kelly Oubre, Sadiq Bey, and I was thinking about Caleb Martin. Them is guys that we can go get, bro, that's actual free agency. Miami, they might not be looking to bring the boy back, Caleb. Sadiq Bey, he's gettable, bro. And Bobby Portis, those are moves. Even if we bring Malik Monk back, bro, those are moves that we need to reach out and go get, dog. I don't know about Tobias Harris unless he's trying to take a lesser contract, but those three dudes with the roster we got right now, bro, we can get that. Getting rid of a Dorte, getting rid of a Kessler, and see what Sasha got, bro. Those are two guys that we can put on the bench that can help us right now. Monty, you have to make a move this year, bro. This is it. I know I've been backing Monty up, bro. But, Monty, there ain't no sitting on your hands, big dog. I'm telling you, I've been backing you up. I've been backing you up this whole time when people been trying to get on your head, big dog. You can't make me look bad, dog. You have to make moves, bro. If you don't make moves this summer or even going into the season by the deadline, bro, his seat might get hot, big homie. I love money, but, bro, you got to quit doing this whole sitting on your hand BS, bro. You got to make some moves, big dog. That's all I got. I want to go. Happy birthday to Jay again. Be safe, bro. Have a good weekend, dog. Have you a drink. If you do drink, bro, be safe. Whitey, you pop you one too. Samoa in the back. Everybody have a good one, dog. But those moves, trust me, Kelly Oubre, homie. Kelly Oubre, Sadiq Bey, or Caleb Martin. Those are dogs that we need on the team. That's all I got.
TC, he shoots. He scores. See, I told you Kelly Oubre's name was going to come up, and it's going to come up a lot.
Yeah, and he's done it. He's been entrenched in this community since 2020 when he was with the Warriors. Like he's always kind of been looked at. And I think Tobias Harris, guys like that who are on for Cam Johnson's another one, who are fringe looking for the next step guy, just under an all-star, but quality NBA starters. Kyle Kuzma, I think, is above them a little bit now, but I thought, when a lot of Kings fans around here wanted him, he was kind of in that situation. But I think they are, they're all intertwined. I know you love the Caleb Martin. I love Caleb Martin too. I think I just don't see why Miami will give him up for what they're paying him though, which is what, $8 million.
I hate to say this, but TC and I think we're close enough. We can be honest with each other. I know he and I disagree about Zach LaVine. I'm not a big Sadiq Bey guy. I know he had 50 a couple years ago.
Yeah,
when he was still with Detroit, he had a 52-point game. I'm not a big Sadiq Bey guy though. But Caleb Martin, yes. Kelly Oubre is an interesting player
if you can get him for the right price, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If and I shouldn't have to pay him much of my mid-level after he played. Didn't you just say he played for I thought it was
NBA
the minimum
vet, 2.4
veterans minimum this year. It just depends if he did enough with Philly where there's going to be more interest in him this year. Just kind of an unusual player in the sense that, he was really good in Phoenix, left Phoenix. Like when they went to the bubble, remember he was hurt and he was entering free agency, I think. And he said, I'm not going to be able to play the rest of the way. They went without him. They won the rest of their games.
8 in a row? Was it 8 in a row?
Yeah. And then he went to the Warriors and it really didn't work. He had some big numbers at times, but he did not fit in there. Ended up going to Charlotte. They let him go. And then he kind of revives his career to a degree with Philly this year. But even then, there was some unusual circumstances. I'm not sure what to make of him.
I was just getting ready to say, what is Kelly Oubre? And I mean, common sense, we know it. But what is he as a basketball player? Maybe I should have phrased it better for you.
I think he's a guy that would be pretty good, like maybe an eighth man who in his mind should be starting. That was one of the problems in Golden State. When he was there, Clay was going to come back the next year. So are they going to keep Kelly Oubre? I think they already knew they didn't want to, but you gotta say the right things. And so like, oh, we love Kelly Oubre, but we got Clay coming back and Clay's a starter. And Kelly Oubre said, well, I consider myself a starter. And apparently that rubbed some of the veterans there the wrong way. You can't blame a guy for having confidence in himself, right? But I don't know that Kelly Oubre is quite as good as Kelly Oubre thinks he is.
Okay.
But he did some good things for Philly.
He's long, though. One thing he is long.
I thought he played pretty well in this series. Not a great shooter.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not the best shooter. Is he considered athletic in your eye? And that could be to the and that's why I asked
by
in
NBA
your
standards, not
yeah.
especially.
Okay.
Obviously these guys are the greatest athletes in the world, but by NBA standards,
sure.
But he can defend. You got to be a little bit athletic to defend.
And
he's kind of I'm not sure what he is, but I don't think he's quite as good as he thinks he is.
And the one thing about Kelly Oubre, and it's kind of Harrison Barnes, it's kind of Buddy Hield, in that realm, he's gonna have about 10 games throughout the season where he's gonna throw up 30, and you're gonna clamor for more.
Yeah. And
you're like, oh man, I just need that. Even just give me half of that tomorrow night, and then he'll come back with 4 or 5. He's just up and down. I don't think he's ever grasped
31% this year in the 3-point shot.
Yes. I mean, that sounds real Jared Vanderbilt-ish.
Yeah. 15 points a game. It's like, okay. But 31%, 1.5 assists, 5 rebounds. He's not a bad player. He's just not an especially good one.
I'll take that 15 though, especially off the pine. If you're giving me that off the pine.
He's taking 13 shots a game. I don't know that I have that many. The year before in Charlotte, he took 17 shots a game. See, again, he's a good player, but not as good as he thinks he is, I think. The other thing, though, on Bobby Portis here, TC mentioned Bobby Portis. We're all, remember, I think Drapes has been
everybody's in on Bobby
I don't know
Portis.
How you get him, but we're all like, yes, that would be terrific.
Why would they give him up?
They wouldn't unless they feel like, wow, we heard the drive guys say we were the most disappointing team in the league. We got to shake things up.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a friendly contract, super friendly contract. He is at the top of his game for what he does. I mean, there's no reason to get rid of him.
I know. But if they do, we'll be ready. We'll be right back. We'll get to the phones and we'll look at this Lakers situation. Drive guys when we come right back on Sacktown Sports.
Hey there. Wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at upsizematters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at upsizematters.com. That's upsizematters.com.
Sacramento sports fans, get ready to amp up your summer with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We've got an incredible lineup. First up on May 24th, don't miss Tribal Seeds as they bring their reggae beats to Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. And mark your calendars for June 8th when NF takes the stage at the Golden One Center. Visit livenation.com for tickets. And don't miss out on the California State Fair summer lineup. On July 15th, experience Queen Nation, a tribute to Queen. Catch Flo Rida on July 23rd, Bush on July 24th, and the ultimate throwback with a 90s rewind show on July 29th, featuring Tone Loc, CMC Music Factory, and Digital Underground. Visit CalExpoStateFair.com for tickets and info. Looking ahead to August 4th, get ready for the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, presented by Live Nation. It's a star-studded event. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, your ultimate playbook for the best shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TOOL for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TOOL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TOOL.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Playing this week, The Fall Guy, the IMAX experience.
Tom Ryder, the biggest action star on the planet, is missing. You need to bring him back.
Treat yourself to a refreshing action movie filled with laughs and chemistry starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento and reserve your seat today. And don't miss The Fall Guy this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento.
Well, finally happened today. Darvin Ham out as coach of the Lakers. It's amazing how much people down there despise Darvin Ham, or at least just felt like he had no idea what he was doing. I remember when he was hired, a lot of people thought that's a great hire. He's going to be a great head coach. I don't know if it's just the circumstances there. That was tough to win with those rosters that he had the last couple of years. I know they got better last year after the All-Star break. Just perception. Maybe they lost a few tough games where he made a few blunders. I have a hard time believing that anyone with the experience Darvin Ham has can be as incompetent as Laker fans seem to think he is. They're just so happy that he's gone.
Yeah, I know. Like they're cheering.
Yeah,
almost. And Dave McMenamin, friend of the show on ESPN, NBA reporter and close. Of course, he covers the Lakers real close on the beat.
Yeah.
He is reporting that the whole staff of the Lakers have all been relieved of their duties as well. Man, that means someone else is coming in and they're bringing the family.
Yeah. Huh. Do you think it's JJ Redick?
No.
Here's what your friend of the show, Dave McMenamin, had to say about that. Dave McMenamin. He was on the Dan Patrick Show. LeBron's opinion is certainly weighed by Rob Pelinka, not just because LeBron puts a rubber stamp on a guy that the Lakers are automatically going to ink them to become the new guy running the sidelines. Also, the Lakers are a glamour franchise. They like themselves to be considered that way. You would get a guy with some cachet with J.J. Redick if you were to pull him off the number one broadcast team at ESPN and ABC. J.J. is certainly a real candidate if they do open up this coaching search, but there will be a process there. There are several viable candidates. So, yeah, Dave McMenamin, who doesn't speak out of turn, says he thinks if they really are, they may already know who they want, but if it's an open search, he thinks J.J. Redick is a real candidate as a Kings, someone who wants to see the Kings do well. I hope J.J. Redick's the guy.
Me and you both. I think it'd be another 2 years and he'd be out of there. And I mean, no slight to J.J. Redick, but what have we seen from J.J. Redick to, and I'm pretty sure he could say the same thing to me or us. Like, listen, I haven't done it before. Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, is it because your boy is LeBron James? Is it because you have the in? You can pick up the phone and have a conversation. But when did J.J. Redick become, like, even when he was playing, I don't remember J.J. Redick as being an extension of a coach. I don't remember him being a floor general. I don't remember him being an X's and O's guy. And he may be all of those things. I never heard it.
He's become an X and O guy on his, the podcast. Where he's breaking things down and impressing a lot of people.
A lot of people like that.
Yeah, I know. But let's not forget, he also interviewed with the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
So probably for some of the same reasons. I love the podcast. But still.
The old man in the shoe. What is it called? The
old man in the three.
And the three. There you go.
The old man in the shoe.
My apologies.
No, that's a funny title.
There's so many podcasts nowadays, White, and we're thankful that we have people that tune into us, but there's so many of them. It's just difficult to keep up with it. Names and who's on what and where they're at and what platform, and so I think we're particular in the people that we enjoy and we like, and when you come across something that's new, or, someone recommends something, like you've recommended some things to me and I've paid attention, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. Take a look, listen, or read that book. And so, by the way, I'm reading as I blank here, goodness gracious.
What's it about?
Yes. Boston Red Sox gave me a book.
Ted Williams?
Ted Williams. Lord,
oh, yeah.
Gracious. My mind is It's Friday at 5:30 or whatever it is. We're ready to go.
All good.
Yeah, but I started that book. That book is like an encyclopedia, man.
Yeah.
That book is super long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna take me 2 years to read this book. But I had started some good things in there, by the way. But I say that to say we normally tend to go to the shows and read the people that we enjoy. And so I haven't done that with JJ. Have you been a fan of JJ's podcast or his show? Or as analysts?
I don't have
analysis.
Other than just kind of that built-in Duke resistance. I don't really have anything against them.
Sure.
I've seen clips here or there where it's obvious, like, wow, that's some pretty cool stuff. Him and LeBron breaking down, like, this team runs this play, and this is what they call it. That's interesting. I just haven't had a lot of time to dive into it. Looks really good to me.
Yeah.
But A, I haven't had time to check it, and B, I don't know if that qualifies him to be a head coach.
No, it's kind of like remember John Gruden had the little X's and O, he bring the quarterbacks in, and he'll have all the language and all that type of stuff. But at least John had already been in that position. JJ's coming from a player standpoint, and he's part of the media at this point too. He's, as you alluded to, he's ESPN's quote unquote ABC #1 analyst now, him with Doris Burks and Mike Breen. And so I don't know how you jump from that position to a head coach of the LA Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And, there's some other folks that are intertwined in that. I'm not sure as much as maybe LeBron would appreciate it. I'm pretty sure there's some people on that team was like, what?
Yeah.
JJ Redick.
Right. Well, I think we're on the same page, and it's a page that a lot of people are on, and we're thinking, Ty Lue's probably going to end up being the head coach of the Lakers, and that'd be a good move for them.
What if it's not Ty? What if it's not JJ? Has there been anyone that pops in your mind with like, okay, that might be a great fit, or that would be a terrible fit, and I hope they do that?
Dave Blatt. No, I'm just kidding. I have thought of him. No one ever mentions him.
Where is Dave Blatt at these days? I'm going to have to check that out.
I saw some odds today, and Mike Brown's on there, but I haven't really looked at the whole list. It's funny is you look at the coaches now, and Doc Rivers is not a candidate to coach the Lakers, but Doc Rivers is he's one of the old timers, right? He's one of the guys who's been around forever, really established and experienced coach. But I remember when Doc Rivers started, he started with Orlando, and if I'm not mistaken, he hadn't been a coach before. He was a broadcaster.
Yes.
And they made him a head coach. And at the time, it was like, we're just talking about J.J. Redick. Like, how can they do that? He's never been a coach. And now he's one of the most established coaches in the game.
Jason Kidd did the same thing, right? Jumped straight into the head coaching position.
Steve Kerr went from broadcasting to a GM job and then ended up as a head coach. Mark Jackson, I think, ended up going from broadcasting to
head coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There have been instances, but I'm not sure. And I think when you look at it, most of the time you hear about that, it's the point guard, right? You hear the point guard kind of being Steve Nash was another one. Remember that? Right. Steve Nash. You kind of is like that right-hand man to the head coach, the extension of the head coach. They know, they're like the quarterback.
Yeah.
I never saw JJ like that. No. I never saw, and maybe he was that on his teams, and we weren't privy to that information. I don't remember him ever being that type of guy on the court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never thought of him that way either. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ashley has been hanging on. Hey, Ashley, thanks for hanging. Happy Friday. What can we do for you?
Happy Friday, and also happy birthday, Jay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Of course. But I just want to call, and I don't think he is, but I haven't heard much on this front, and I was curious, is Monk sign and trade eligible?
Is Monk sign and trade eligible?
Is that an option on the table for if we can't sign him?
I don't know. No, here's the thing. The reason you do sign and trades, Ashley, is when the team that you currently play for can offer you the most money. And that's not the case here. So there's no reason to do that. Sometimes it's like, yeah, all good. Yeah, thanks for the call. Interesting question. Yeah, because I know I've heard people, asking on the station, well, what about a sign and trade with Orlando? And then the Kings get somebody back. And it's like, sign and trade doesn't work here. Sign and trade only works when it's like,
have your birds rights, or I can offer you the most money.
It's like, I want to play there, but I get more money if I stay here. Well, then they'll sign you, and then they will trade you to us. Okay, it's a win-win. And the Kings they don't have that leverage on this because he can just go get more money wherever he wants and doesn't need to do something.
Open market.
Yeah. So that's the problem with that.
To the best of our knowledge, like it's and I've heard whispers of other teams, and we try to do our just due here on this side of the radio and YouTube and Twitter, wherever viewing the show. I reach out to some of the beat guys and talk to some of the folks throughout the league. And it sounds like he's probably going to get a little more than 20 million, 20 to 22, 20 to 23. Someone may offer him that. We've heard 100 million, 25 a year, Wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you?
A little bit.
I guess, yeah.
It wouldn't shock me, but I'd be a little surprised.
But I think he's going to float right in that 75 to $100 million range, which puts the Kings right there. It just all depends on if someone wants to kind of jump them a little bit, king me. 70 ain't no problem. I'll run it up. We'll do 90.
Right.
It doesn't hurt us as much. And so I think it's interesting. I think the Kings have a great shot. They really do.
The thing that worries me about Orlando, I keep coming back to Orlando. We talked about the tax situation there, and they have their payroll is really low.
Yeah.
Their payroll is like a team that's there. I think there are teams that have been tanking that may have higher payrolls than Orlando.
A bunch
and
they're
playing now. Yeah, they're still in it right now. So that's the team that I've been keeping an eye on. If you're Malik's they don't have shooting, they need help in the backcourt, and he would fill a lot of their needs.
But as quick as because they have a plethora of guards, Cole Anthony, T. Suggs,
and they're all kind of Suggs is a good defender, but A lot of guys are kind of.
Would you take Cole?
If on the Kings?
Yes. I like Cole Anthony. I think he brings a lot to the table. Creator, passer, can shoot it a little bit. Definitely effort. Plays a little defense. Has a little aggression to him.
Maybe. Wouldn't be. What does he shoot? I don't. I need shooting, Jay.
I
need shooters.
I understand.
And I don't think he's a great shooter.
You got Sasha.
I have to. He's a front court. Yeah, he's a front court player. I need shooting in the back court, especially if Malik goes. But I have to check. I don't know.
Got Kevin Huerter.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know about you, but I forget about him. He disappeared.
Out of sight, out of mind.
It's actually a very good point. When we come back, we'll tell you about Kevin Garnett and his views on the players playing now who he says could play back in his day. So be thinking about that, and we'll see. I think what he doesn't say is more interesting than what he says. Next year with the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-high rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Get low prices on the materials you need today because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no kicking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/build to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/build and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
NBA playoff update. Early third quarter. Orlando leading Cleveland 55-53. Orlando trying to push that series to a game 7. Then later tonight, of course, we got the Clippers and the Mavs. Dallas leading that series 3-2. Tomorrow, this is going to be quite a series. Game 1, Minnesota at Denver.
Looking forward to that one.
How about that? That might get a little physical. Just looked up your guy, Cole Anthony.
All right.
Had a pretty solid year. About 12 points a game.
Take it.
Coming off the bench, and he shot the 3-ball halfway decently. 338, 364 the year before. So, I don't think I need him. I don't have anything against him, but and what is it you like? You like his tenacity?
Yeah, like the tenacity, aggressiveness. I think he's a playmaker, ball handler, somebody that can take the ball out of De'Aaron's hands, a la Malik.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plays good defense.
Is a point guard. So
is a PG. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Speaking of point guards and speaking of the Mavs playing tonight, there is a former coach, not the most popular former coach, who says, quote, "I'm not a big fan of Luka. I just don't like him palming the ball all the time, and it's just not my style."
Let me take a guess.
Let me get through it. I want him to play more together, but I think that we're all blessed right now with that tall, skinny guy down there in San Antonio. What the hell is he going to be? I think that's going to be really interesting. Said
George Karl.
There you go.
That wasn't hard.
It wasn't, was it? I'm not really a big this guy or that guy. He seems a little bitter, poor George, Coach George.
I know. Where's George at these days?
I think he's in retirement.
Yeah, feet up.
Yeah, still watching games, still getting into tangles on Twitter with Laker fans.
I see it.
Which I feel like, Coach, you're above that. You're beyond that. Maybe he enjoys a good scrap.
Pretty sure that the competition drives him. Just like you said, the intermingling of NBA. He's quickly become like a public enemy guy.
I know. I know.
I ain't talking about Chuck D and Flavor Flav. Like I'm talking. There's a lot of people who are they're not happy with George.
I know. Have you ever heard the story of how he absolutely made Jordan furious during the 96 finals?
A little bit. Some of it.
Because they're both Carolina guys. And, Carolina with that history there, there's something kind of a brotherhood. So apparently during the 96 finals, Seattle against the Bulls, and Jordan's at a restaurant somewhere, Seattle or Chicago, and Michael Jordan's there, and George Karl comes in and walks right by him and ignores him. And Michael Jordan said, that was it. We play golf in the summer. We go down and see Dean Smith. And once he ignored me, I decided, okay, that's it. And, like Michael needed any help, but he ended up being the MVP of that series.
But what do you do if you're in the final matchup against MJ and that's your friend and we've got it established, no hard feelings? But I mean, you're not my boy right now. But I do understand you got at least what's up, big man? Yeah, like hey, I got you now.
I guess we'll see you tomorrow night or whatever.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Like you're almost disrespectful when you don't even say nothing.
You're not even going to acknowledge that I exist.
What if he walks by, he sits at the table, and he just points at him?
Boy, that's borderline.
But I acknowledge you exist, but you know what? Like you just giving them facial features and the snapping signal and the thumb across the jugular.
I don't know. I don't think it would do it for me. And the thing is, if it's Michael Jordan, don't you have to be mindful of that? Like, I just don't want to make this guy, I don't want to give him any more reason to want to destroy me because I'm already overmatched, right? So you just, hi, Michael. How are you, big fella, right? Don't you just lay it on? But the whole, I'm going to ignore you.
I know, that's
you're
cold.
Not going to gain anything by that.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. I like your style. Walk by, sit down, and just finger point.
I got you. You're in the crosshairs.
One of the things that we end up talking about a lot on this show is which players playing now could play when the game was a lot more physical. Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce talked about this on their podcast. I don't know what Paul Pierce said, and I don't care. But I'll tell you what Kevin Garnett said. He said, talking about guys who play now, who could play back in KG's heyday. And some of these guys he did play against before he was done. He says, Jay, obviously LeBron.
Yep.
He says KD.
Yep.
I think Ja would excel.
Yep.
I think guys like Dame Lillard.
I like it.
Kawhi.
Yes, sir.
Guys who have high confidence in play. Like, I'm going to tell you some real, he says Zion. Zion, because listen, I think if Zion would have had a great example in front of him, like Oak or like a that go in the gym every day and put it in, oh man, Zion would be a chiseled animal right now, KG said. And then Kevin Garnett, he thought about it a little later and he said, oh, I think Giannis would have excelled. You know what I'm saying? So that's his list. And I look at that and I go, well, those are the best players. You're not saying anything. But it strikes me that he did not mention Jokic. Now, maybe he it's possible that he was,
just forgot.
But I'm wondering if the omissions are more interesting than the guys he actually said. Because, I mean, how do you forget Jokic? He also doesn't mention number 30.
Steph?
Golden State.
Yeah. The tough part about Jokic is he doesn't look like he belongs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like he doesn't look like the performances he has.
Right.
It doesn't fit the bill. Normally when you're talking about best player in the world and, talented, ultra talented, can shoot it, pass it, does the things that he does, he doesn't look that way. I've even heard people, his detractors talk about not being in shape. Not, as he talked about Zion being chiseled. I think Jokic could definitely play because you look at the Osher tags, the Montrosses, the big guys in the middle. There's so many guys that were in the middle that they had to try to contain Shaq or try to contain Olajuwon or D. Robinson, those type of people, Pat Ewing. So, but they weren't at the top of the sport. I think, and this is just me, and it sounds crazy because of how Jokic operates now, but I wouldn't say he would be what he is then to now. I think his era is perfect for what he does.
Mm-hmm. The conversation continues, and we'll wrap things up here with Whitey's baseball, believe it or not.
Love it.
When we come back, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/build to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/build and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Cool moms love the lounge. Show your appreciation this Mother's Day by treating your mom to specials on some of our favorites all day long.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Weekends are for Sacramento Rivercats baseball. Join us on Fridays for live music and happy hour in Elysian Landing. Sutter Health Fireworks Saturdays for a post-game fireworks show. And Sunday Fun Days for perfect day game baseball. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you at Sutter Health Park this weekend.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Ah, yes, times like these. Happy birthday again, Jay. Tomorrow's Jay's birthday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And then you're back in studio Tuesday, right?
I am following the. It's going to be a tough act to follow with the legendary Jerry Reynolds and two legends in the studio.
Yes, Jerry will be with us on Monday. Jay is back on Tuesday. On the chat here, interesting conversation. First of all, we have Tin, who's telling me that I need to reevaluate Kelly Oubre. Says Kelly's been posterizing Whitey. I know Kelly Oubre has done some nice things for the Sixers in this postseason. Then we also have interesting question from Beamer, Beams, or Beamley. You know, we're just talking about Kevin Garnett and his views on which players could play, players who play now who could play in his era. And Beamer, Beams, or Beamley asks, who's the modern day KG?
Oh,
he says it's got to be Embiid or maybe Bam. And my first thought is, nope, there just isn't one.
No, I can't think of one. You need someone. One thing about KG, he never stopped talking, and he was aggressive, passionate, in your face, didn't care.
Freaking
long,
great player who started. I came out of high school.
Yes,
yes,
athletic. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yes, hyper competitive.
Oh, to the utmost. Probably one of the. If you're patting yourself when it comes to competition, you know, a lot of people talk about Jordan, but Jordan, a lot of it was off the court as much as it was on the court. Like KG left it everything on the court. You know, I mean, you talk to people, it was like, dude, KG had one of the worst mouths ever. He would attack people's, you know, character. We've seen clips on social network where he's in a suit talking bad to people.
Yeah, I think from what I hear and what I know, and obviously I've never played, but I think Peyton, you know, GP2's dad was probably the worst.
Yeah.
You know, I remember hearing a story. Oh, I can't remember who the other player was. He was a rookie, and he says before the game starts, Gary Payton goes up to him and gives him a kiss on the cheek and says, "You're in for a long night." And just
gave him a smooch,
just unrelenting the whole night. You know, like welcome to the NBA.
I like that. I'm gonna have to get that story. We have to get GP. I think you weren't here when we had Gary Payton on. You were on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had GP on, friend of the show. We have to get him on, and he's got to tell that story. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I got to remember who it was and get all the details right. But yeah, Gary Payton, another Hall of Famer. So yeah, it's a great question. I don't mean to say it's a bad question. I think it's a great question. But to me, nobody comes to mind. Who's the current KG? In my mind, it's like, nah, there isn't one. But I'll do some more thinking on it. It's time now, Jay, and this one you're not going to believe. It's time for Whitey's Baseball, believe it or not.
All right.
I know you guys weren't impressed by what I had yesterday, although it was incredible. There's nothing compared to what I have today. And you're a baseball guy, so you will appreciate this. Drapes, you know, he knows baseball, but he's not really a baseball guy. You're a baseball guy. So May 3rd, 2012, you had Ryan Dempster. Remember Ryan Dempster?
Yes.
You see that thing where he twists the ball right before he started his delivery? Ryan Dempster of the Cubs, Homer Bailey of the Reds.
Okay.
They were pitching against each other, and both of them celebrated their birthday on that day. And it's believed to be the first time in Major League history that opposing starting pitchers were both pitching on their birthdays against each other. It had never happened before, and it hasn't happened since. Believe it or not. That's incredible.
That's a little better than yesterday there, White. Yeah, I like that.
No, it's incredible, isn't it?
I wouldn't use the word incredible, but I'd say that's decent. I like where you're going.
It's never happened before.
You're getting closer. You're getting closer. I like where you're going. You know, you started at the bottom. You're moving up. I see the progression. You're operating like Keegan Murray. We see the talent there. You're going two ways. I like where you're going, but I'm gonna just need you to take that Peja leap in the third year.
This had never happened before.
Ever
in the history of baseball.
Not one time.
And it hasn't happened since. It's believed. I mean, it's believed.
Okay, all right. 7 out of 10.
And how about that?
7 out of 10.
I just realized this, but I'm going to say I selected this specifically today because it's almost your birthday.
Okay, I like where you're going. I like that. 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10 because you're thoughtful.
Okay.
Because you're thoughtful.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm not. I just realized. I was like, whoa. Hey, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's that.
I like it.
Yeah.
7.5.
What can you tell us?
Yesterday it was about a 5. Maybe a 4.
Who's your pick for the Kentucky Derby?
Sierra Leone.
All right.
Out the 2 post.
Good luck. I know you'll be in position
I
to
will.
wager legally if you choose to. If you do, good luck. Hope you win. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. Be back with us Monday. Jerry Reynolds will be here. And by all means, stick around for A's baseball. A's and the Marlins tangling tonight. That's coming up next right here on Sacktown Sports.